Welcome, everybody, to the Outlaw Nation. How are you? Welcome to the return of the Outlaw Nation. Oh, I want to play something for you. It's too bad. Okay, look at that. How you like that? Look at that overlay down there. Hi, how are you doing? How's it going? I am doing, this is the first time I'm doing it through the StreamYard. So I'm wondering, are you guys seeing me? Can everybody hear me? Can everybody see me? Am I good to go here on the Outlaw Nation channel? Are you guys seeing me going right now? Yeah, is everybody good to go? Yeah, I see that Jake's in here already. He's moderating. Thank you, Jake, so much. Let's see. Dick Smoker's in here. Haskell 420, the Schmo way. Kanu Haku Fuku Nico Robin _DB is in here. John Mariano. This is so awesome. Maddie, what's going down, my man? Rick Samoris, hello. Darren Batten, what's going down? Ray Watson, MK Songbirds in here. Andrew G's in here. So pretty cool to see so many y'all in here. Are you hearing me? Can you hear? No sound. Now what are we doing? Now what's going on? I put the audio to the USB device. So is it not? Are you guys not hearing it? Is that what's going on? Is anyone hearing it? Okay. Is anyone here? Are you guys hearing me? Default to the USB out. How about that? Can you guys hear me now? Sounds good on my side. Okay. You can hear the sound? All right. So it's not my fault. Okay, cool. So who was the one who couldn't know? Mariano, do you have sound now? John, do you have sound now? Is there something maybe you clicked on your end that maybe you didn't 100%? Okay, cool. Schmoe says I'm good. Everyone says I'm good. This is a new experience for me. So I am trying it here on the StreamYard and trying to make it everything. Haskell is tripping. I don't know what that's all about. Is Haskell making a sound? So I am jumping onto this thing for the first time ever on the Outlaw Nation Show. You guys know what the Outlaw Nation Show, what it's always been. And that is, just kind of talking about whatever's on my mind, whatever's on your mind, and things of that nature. Okay, so, oh no, not sound. The Discord. I'm waiting for peeps to join the voice chat. All right, guys, this is something that I'm trying that's new, and that is the Outlaw Nation Show is more than just me talking about whatever is on my mind. I also want to hear from you. So there are links already in here. Let's see. Let me put it in real quick. That there's a Discord link that you can be a part of, and on that Discord link you can join me and ask questions live. That's right, live. But you have to go to the Discord link, join Discord, and then John Mariano, who is doing things here, he will bring you into the room. And when he brings you into the room, he'll bring you into my StreamYard. And from the StreamYard, I'll bring you up, and you'll get to ask me a question live on the air as we're talking about it, and I will answer your question. So there you go. So those kinds of things that are happening here for the Outlaw Nation Show. I'm trying to turn this into my weekly call-in show, which is you all I'm going to talk about something, but you all can call in or link in and tell me what you want to do, or tell me what you want to see, or ask me any questions about the Schmoedown, about sports, about life, about anything that's going on in your world. I'm here to answer it. And I've got the lights on, I've got the microphone going, I got the headphones in, and please hit that like button, hit that share button on this thing. Let's get a lot of people in here. My Mornings with the Outlaw one gets to above 250 sometimes, almost 300 people in here. So I'd love to get about a bunch of people in here who are new to the thing or haven't been around in a while. It's pretty awesome. So everyone else can hear me. Everything's cool. The pictures are gorgeous. Excellent lighting. Thank you so much. Are you taking StreamLabs? No, I'm actually using StreamYard for the first time ever tonight, so that I can do things like bring your question. Where is it? So it's a little slow sometimes. Let's see here. The Outlaw Nation Show rocks. When you're going to, okay. So Slag, see something like this. Slag, I can bring this in. That's pretty cool. So now you will get highlighted. You will get seen on my show. Your comment will get seen on my show. So I think it's pretty awesome that is happening. Mark Chapman, or I'm sorry, the Schmoe was asking me that. Schmoe goes, he said, are you taking StreamLabs? I am not. I am doing StreamYard, as I just said. So I'm just showing you what I can do with StreamYard, and I am incredibly happy that is all this stuff that I'm doing. I had to pay a little bit extra bucks, but it's worth it, because in the long run, this is what I want to turn this particular show into, is a call-in show for you all, so you can reach out to me and ask me any questions you want to ask me about what's going on in your world or the world of entertainment. and I will, like address it and talk about it. Let me see. I want to get a little bit closer, not too much, just a little bit, a little bit. There we go. Just want to get a little bit closer, not too much, because you don't want to see every pimple on my face or every skin. Okay, so please, guys, send in your StreamLabs, send in your super chats, and of course, join the Discord server if you can. This would be a lot of fun to have you guys join the Discord and have you bring in. John's going to bring you through, and I should probably, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I can do it now, but I should probably be able to add John as a what do you call it, as a moderator on the show at some point down the road. So that's how we're going to go with that. But I appreciate you all taking the time to join me here at 5:30 at night in Los Angeles. At least in Los Angeles, it's 5:30 at night. I don't know what time it is there in your world, but that is what is going on. I had a fun day today with SEN Live. We did the Schmoedown backstage, had with Ben Bateman, had Andrew Guy on there. Team action, with one member of Team Top 10, those legendary duels we had on two of those matches. So us reliving that a little bit, but mostly we talked about Andrew's match with the number one contender match they had over there, the live event they had, the Schmoedown Throwdown that they had there. So we went through that. So that was pretty cool overall in that way. So I was having a good time having conversations on Schmoedown backstage. You guys submitted a lot of questions. It was so much fun to talk to you all and hear what you all had to say. Manny Gonzalez says here, Haskell, this show is about everything, sports, politics, yeah, right. And what you want to talk about via the donations. Also, please, Rob Catanetch says, got to get back to work. Have a good show. Have a good stream, mate. So that's really nice of him. And Manny Gonzalez also sending in some love here. Where's Manny? Manny sending in some love. And he's like, John, I hope you will have a great show, even if I won't be here for the whole show. Thank you, Manny. I appreciate it. Let me go into the StreamLabs and see if there are any people who are asking questions already and want to find out my thoughts on things. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you all are asking me and what you all have to say about stuff. And please go into the Discord. I mean, the whole thing I've set this up is so that you can call in and have your questions answered on the show as we do them. So, but I want to give love to the people who signed up to the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel over the last 24 hours. Nina and Nutza has subscribed. Conray has subscribed. Retro Nerd Girl Movie Reviews subscribed. Greg 8 subscribed. Arkham City Rules subscribed. Saint Walker subscribed. Nicola Kulik subscribed. And Code D Striker subscribed. So all those people have subscribed to the Outlaw Nation show and hopefully, or to the Outlaw Nation channel rather. Hopefully you will subscribe as well. That would be awesome. And I'd love to have you. So please subscribe to the show there and be a part of all the stuff I've got going on here. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch of things all at once. So let's get to it, man. Let's get into these things. How's it going? I mean, I'm John. I'm going to check in on him for the Discord server and see if we've got anybody who wants to ask a question before I jump into the topic. We shall see. Anybody rolling through? And there we go. All right, cool. Yeah, submit your questions, comments, topics to talk about with John. Want to talk? That's right. Let's bring that up for Haskell there. Submit your questions, comments. That's right. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. It would be great. All right. Let's see. All right. We've got the first one from Ferris Mathuna. Says, hey, hello, John. What Discord channel is it again? Jake's got it in here, but let me show it to you guys real quick. There it is. That's the Discord channel. Take it down. The link is available on the chat there, so you can go and take a look there. Thank you so much, Ferris, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Don't forget the StreamLabs is open as well. www.streamlabs.com/John Rocha says. Go and jump in there and send whatever you want to send. It'd be awesome to hear what you guys have to say. And if you want to get involved in this, it'd be even better. Ray Watson wants to know from the super chat, hey, John, hope all is well. How has your day been? It's a good question. Well, my day's been pretty good, pretty busy. This morning I shot 3 trailer reactions to movies. I also was on email all day, kind of lining up some screenings for some smaller films that are coming out. Want to get a chance to go watch those and do some more reviews. You guys have been, kind of coming at me a little bit saying like, hey, where's the movie reviews? Where's the movie reviews? And I realized that's something I really got to focus on and do well and get on top of. So I am definitely working on that, getting into more screenings and being able to watch those films. I'm going to see A Quiet Place 2 on Monday, so I'm excited about that. I'll definitely have a review of that when the embargo is up. I do still have my Invisible Man review that I kind of want to record, so I will be doing that sometime tomorrow, I think, as well. But then I also went over and did Schmoedown Backstage, as I was saying earlier, kind of narrated that. Yeah, it's kind of narrated that or hosted that rather with Ben Bateman, and we talked to Andrew Guy, and we talked about the big Schmoedown Throwdown match that went on live last week, which was a lot of fun there. The family taking on corruption. Well, we also talked about what happened in the match. We also talked about what happened behind the scenes with Andrew retiring. I'm sorry, not Andrew, Drew McWeeny retiring, and not knowing that was going to happen until just before the match started, or a little bit before the match started. So we got to hear Andrew's points of views about how that went down and what he felt, kind of pressure he felt that it added to the match, an extra layer of pressure to the match. So a lot of stuff going on there. And so a lot of conversation. So if you haven't watched Schmoedown Backstage from today, after we're done with this live stream, definitely go in there and watch that. Let me take this off here. There we go. All right. So if you want to go and jump into the Discord, it is there, and send people through. Please feel free to send people through. John Mariano, if you can hear me, if you've got anybody there waiting to jump in, please send them through. I would love to have the first question rolled through and have a conversation with them. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, here we go. Those of you who know me know that I do so let's look at some of these questions that are going. Did you watch The Boys at Amazon? Just finished, loved it, can't wait to see season 2. Yeah, absolutely love The Boys. That was a good show. A lot of stuff that they explored in that show that I thought was essential for kind of going to the next level with these superhero comic book TV shows, superhero movies, all of that nature. So certainly The Boys was incredible. It was fantastic. A lot of fun there watching that show. Really enjoyed everything going on with that and what we may be seeing in the second season, because certainly it ends on a hell of a cliffhanger with who the father is of that child and who is connected to that child and what everything that's involved with that child. So much to explore there in the second season. Of course, everything that happened with all the characters there and the romances and where are we going to go with the other characters and the crimes that they committed. Are we going to get more of that, more of resolution over there? So there's so much still to explore in the Boys season 2. Let's see. Luis Enrique de la Peña says, Hola Roca, un abrazo y mejores deseos en tu canal. Thank you. Appreciate that, Luis. That's very kind of you, my man. I am trying to do my best with this channel and build it as it grows. I think the StreamYard was the next thing. Paul Denuzio has been pushing me over and over again to get involved with the StreamYard, and he was right. It's a little bit of a pretty penny, but certainly a lot more I can do here than I anticipated. And I'm trying to figure out how I can play video on here. And I don't know if I can default to something or default to a YouTube thing or whatever. So I got to figure out how to do video on here. And I think once I figure out how to do that, then I think I'll be good to go overall. So let's see. I'm here now on this. Oh, no, I'm here. Okay. So let me see if we've got anybody rolling through on the chat. All right. And on the comments. All right. Enjoying one of my home brews. Cheers to you, Roca. Black currant wheat for beer drinkers that also enjoy wine. That's Facetious Christ. That is him jumping in there. All right. Here we go. This one is from Skybeard. Who would you pick up to replace Harrison as Indy? Do you think they will set up the replacement in the film or not? It's a good question. I don't know if they'll set up the replacement in the film. It just doesn't seem to be the way that they would go, in my opinion, or that makes any sense. So I don't anticipate that necessarily coming through. So I don't know, to be honest with you, if they would pick anyone new just yet. I think he wants to see it out. Will it be Shia LaBeouf? Will it be other people? Will it be Chris Pratt? Who everyone keeps hoping it is. I don't know, to be honest with you. It'll just depend on what Spielberg wants to do, or not Spielberg, but who is taken over for the situation. So I think that will be the situation there. So let me jump into the Discord here and see who's roaming around and who wants to maybe get brought in. There we go. Let me get out of that. All right. Is anyone waiting? In the waiting, or do I click on them? Is that how it goes? Okay, do I click on them? Okay, I haven't seen anybody just yet. So I think John's going to send them through when they do. and see where we're going. Yo, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I don't have anybody right now. I can't see anything in the StreamYards where I have anybody. So that's why I jumped into the Discord. Okay. Oh, there it is. Awesome. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Let me do it. Thank you. All right. Let me jump into a first super chat here. And that is from Solskjaer 1999. Do you think Bernie will come back strong, John? Need a groundbreaker to go toe-to-toe with Trump. Was a shame Corbyn didn't get it done here in the UK. Yeah, the Corbyn thing was a shock, wasn't it? I think a lot of people thought Corbyn was going to be able to step in there and go up against Boris Johnson, and there was like no chance at all after a while. And so pretty shocking to see that happening. So got to start looking at the situation. This right-wing movement, the conservative movement, surely is grabbing a lot of power within certain countries in the first world, and wondering where that's going to lead to here. I think Bernie's not. I don't think there's enough just right now. I think Biden's got this thing wrapped up. You saw like a bunch of mayors who had supported Bloomberg. They now went over to Biden before tonight's primaries, and they're calling this Super Tuesday 2. So Biden could be beyond sight by the time the results come in from tonight. And Michigan is an integral part of that. So we'll see how that all plays out. I think a lot of people kind of posting that video of Biden going at it with his the gun person, and get that guy getting upset. Look, he's an American. He's got every right to be like, hey, if you want to be my president, I got issues with this. But you got to have a healthy discord. The young guy kept cutting him off and going, no, you did this, and no, you did that. No, of course, that young guy probably, if he saw Trump walk into the factory, would piss his pants. And I think that's my problem with this whole situation. When I'm watching that video, people are like so upset about how Joe Biden reacted. I didn't have a problem with it. I think you got to be strong nowadays. You got to show that you can go toe to toe with Trump. And I don't think being like nice and holding hands and doing kumbaya is the way anymore. And I don't think Bernie would do that either. I think Bernie would totally get up in Trump's face, and Biden is going to get up in Trump's face. I think it's going to be good back and forth, but don't be surprised that they're going to like start launching these investigations into Burisma, into Hunter, and all this stuff that's going to distract the voters. And they hope will keep people not thinking about the coronavirus and the mistakes they're making in handling this thing, and focusing more on like, this is an aggressive guy, this Biden guy. And look, Donald Trump Jr. today tweeted about how he thought he had Alzheimer's because of his reaction. I mean, him of all people tweeting that someone else has Alzheimer's. That's hilarious to me on so many levels when you look at how Trump has struggled on numerous public appearances to speak correctly, to say the right word, to not stumble over his words, to not go off on tangents that people have to come back later and clarify, like Kellyanne Conway had to do when he said he was going to cut entitlements. Kellyanne Conway came the next day and was trying to like snow it all over. Go, no, he didn't say that. He meant cutting the deficit, which all of us who have eyes know it's a complete and utter lie. But that's her PR and her spinning it so that he looks like a smart dude, and he's not. So anyway, all right. Thank you, Solskjaer 1999, for that. We will see what happens with Bernie tonight. We'll see what happens with Biden. This thing could be over before we get to the convention. That's for sure. So let's bring in our first chat here. Let's see. Our first Ferris Mathuna. What's up, man?
What's up, John? How are you, man?
Good. How are you? What's going down?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Let me turn you up because I can barely hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. So yeah, man. So my question is just basic, simple. Is that I keep hearing how the initial reaction to Mulan has been a success. So I was thinking of due to the fact that it's only going to get a U.S. release at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
How it's going to do later on because of the initial positive reviews.
Now, do you mean are you worried about how it's going to do internationally because of how we're reviewing it here domestically? Is that your question?
So the question is like initially the reviews I've seen, they've been all positive. So I'm saying,
mostly, yeah.
Yeah, mostly. So it's releasing here on I think March 24th. I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I'm saying like due to the fact that it's being reviewed positively now, later on, could they make up their money when they finally release it internationally?
I think so, and I think it'll depend. I mean, I think a lot of the reviews have been like this is great. This is a good live action adaptation of the film, but overall, they don't feel that it's necessarily as good as they were hoping it was going to be, and that it was a little still kind of adhering to the animated film itself and didn't take a lot of chances. That's what I'm kind of reading between the lines of these reviews, is they don't sense the film is taking a lot of chances, and that it's a good film, certainly, but within the film, it doesn't take a lot of chances. The film is constructed to take a lot of chances in terms of removing the characters and the songs and what have you. But overall, once you watch it, it doesn't feel as daring and bold as they were hoping it would be. And, so Disney maybe played it a little safe here when it looked like it was going to be this awesome war film. So the question is going to be, though, overall, internationally, how people are going to respond to it. Look, Disney, I never doubt Disney internationally. That's certainly the number one thing overall. I think it's all going to depend on how it rolls out in certain countries. And, there's a controversy in China when that actress, the lead actress, said what she said of supporting the Chinese police against the Hong Kong protesters. How is that going to play out as things get going? And of course, the coronavirus is part of this as well, which is kind of scary overall. Look at Italy, man. Italy is talking about shutting down the entire country, not just like the sections, the entire country, and that's kind of scary overall. So I think there's a lot of factors here, Ferris, because a lot of people are expecting, certainly in Disney, and certainly those of us who watch this stuff, we're expecting Mulan to just blow up at the box office. But it's been one thing after another that's kind of stood in its way. If it wasn't the diehards who were saying, "Oh, what do you mean there's no songs?" or "Why is this character not a part of it?" Then now it's the coronavirus. Now it's the comments she made about the Hong Kong police, now the Chinese police. Now it's all these other things going on. So it seems to be a bit cursed, the film overall, and even though they try to do everything right by having an all Asian cast, and Nicky Caro is a damn good director from New Zealand, it seems like there are a lot of things stacked against it. I think it'll all depend on how much people get past that stuff and give it a chance. But I certainly don't doubt Disney, man. I mean, they've done so. Look at that Lion King. That had no business making $1.6 billion, but it did. And that was like a tracing. He traced that film.
How do you make the Lion King longer
Yeah.
and shittier
Well,
at the same time?
That's fair.
My siblings were like, they're on Disney Plus because we got it, and they're like, well, let's watch the Lion King. I was like, you're not gonna watch that one. Watch the original animated one. And they're like, why? I was like, because it's literally the same movie.
Yeah,
And they
it is.
eliminated the good songs.
It is.
And I'm like, how do you make it 30 minutes extra? Like, how?
Yeah, because I had a friend who was watching it with me. One of the geek buddies, he came with me, and he was like predicting everything that was going to happen after an hour in. He's like, "Oh, this is coming," and there it was. This is coming, and there it was. So it was like, yeah, it was not a good experience seeing the movie in that way. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Well, thanks, Ferris. It's good to see you, man. I know you sent stuff in, and so it's great to actually see you, brother.
All right, man, John.
Thank you.
Man.
Take care, bro.
Too.
All right, what do we got now? Who's coming in now? Is anyone there? Hello. Ray, what's going on? I don't see a picture for you, Ray. So I guess you don't want to be on camera. I respect that.
I just don't have a good enough camera. I'm sorry, John.
All right, don't apologize, man. What's going on?
Not much. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Just kind of kicking it around and having a good time here, and trying to figure this all out. The StreamYard thing that I've just joined because I wanted to do the Outlaw Nation show as like a call-in show, so people like you can call in and we can have a conversation or ask some questions, and other people can as well.
I see. It was a little tough getting going at first for me, just because I'm slightly phone illiterate, but I got it to work, and it seems to work perfectly now, so it's all good. Yeah,
Discard's but it's not bad. It's not bad. It can
no,
work.
Not at all. But what I wanted to ask you today was what were some of your possibly favorite animated characters growing up? Something that sticks with you and really hits you with a good dose of nostalgia anytime you see them.
Wow, some of my favorite animated characters growing up. Well, I have to say Pinocchio, because that was literally the first memory I have of being inside of a movie theater, is seeing that movie. I remember that my mom took us to one of those cities in Virginia. We went to see it not late, but we would see it like in the late afternoon rather, with my brother and I and my mom. And I just remember that experience. So whenever I see Pinocchio, it brings up a happy memory for me, that's for sure. And the story itself is pretty damn dark, so it sticks with you overall. I would say Baloo is another one. I wasn't the biggest fan of Jungle Book, but that character of Baloo and the Bare Necessities was great. And I used to have, when I was a kid, a double album of all the Disney songs that I would like memorize by heart, And
so that's awesome.
It was like a double album, and you had like the Cinderella stuff, you had the Sleeping Beauty stuff, you had Jungle Book, you had Pinocchio, you know, No Strings on Me, that kind of stuff. So there was all kinds of things that I could enjoy there. I think I like Thumper as well, and Bambi. I thought Thumper was a damn good character in that movie. You know, Bambi gets all the love, but Thumper's like trying to figure it all out with Bambi and be like his guy. But I would say Jiminy Cricket is probably my number one, honestly, from Dumbo. Oh no, so that's sorry, from Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket, and then there's what, Timmy the Mouse, Timmy the Mouse.
Both Conscience characters, very much so.
Yeah, both Conscience characters were always the things that stuck in my mind, especially because they were both trying to get these characters to do the right thing, and they were ignoring them, and they weren't listening to them, and of course they had to learn on their own. And it's just like a pseudo parents who are like, you know, this is the right thing to do. You shouldn't be doing this. You should
definitely kind of the message device of the movies, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say those are the ones. But I mean, you go into you know, the Renaissance. Certainly, The Lion King is one that stinks. Not Lion. I'm sorry, the Beauty and the Beast is one that sticks out for me because I really felt a connection with the Beast. Certainly, that idea of like the inner rage or the stuff from the past. If you haven't come to terms with it, how it can like kind of shut you out from connecting with someone, from having a successful relationship, having a successful life. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just the idea of being like, yeah, he had to figure out how to reach Belle, but he also had to come to terms with the mistakes he'd made in the past and stop beating himself up, because when you beat yourself up like that, no one can get through that, because that's a wall you've built up for yourself. And if you don't take that wall down brick by brick, no one's going to really be able to connect with you as strongly as they should. So the lessons in there are great as well. And Nemo, of course, the whole father-son thing is fantastic. So that's what I would say.
And all of those are really lessons and situations that people can relate to. That and it wouldn't be you know, time specific. It wouldn't be era specific. That's something that could happen 200 years ago, that someone could feel those feelings. It could happen 200 years from now. Someone's going to feel those feelings. Right. So yeah, pretty timeless.
Those are and that's why they're classics, man, because they're timeless, because the lessons are there, and the animation's fantastic. The story is good. The lyrics are great in the songs, and the story and the journey they go on is something you can relate to.
Full packages. They were works of art, man.
That's right. Very well said, man. Well, thanks, Ray. I appreciate it, dude. Good talking to you, man.
Thank you very much, John. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
You too. Take care, bro. All right, appreciate that, Ray. Thanks so much. Thanks, Ferris, for the call. We got two or three other people waiting to stop in. Albert, I see you, Albert. What's up, brother? I'll get to you in just a second. Let me answer some StreamLabs as well here. Something came in there. Dodger Ryan 124. He said, "Hey there, John. Do you think that WrestleMania 36 will be postponed since there are 2 cases of the coronavirus in Tampa? I'm pretty sure we will know for sure a week before the pay-per-view. Thanks." Yeah, Dodger, I don't know, to be honest with you. It's kind of scary. We'll see what their liability is. Most of these organizations and these leagues and these companies are canceling stuff because of the liability insurance involved. It isn't the fact that, you know, that people could get sick, because I think people going to WrestleMania would happily sign a waiver. It's that if you go into the situation and something happens and you get sick, look at these people that are suing the cruise line, as if the cruise line could predict when some random coronavirus was going to show up. A couple has already started the process of suing the cruise line for not being better at protecting them from the virus. So that kind of stuff could occur. You know, wrestling fans could probably get into a situation with Vince and start suing the company and what have you, or find some reason to sue the company. So if you're an organization, that's something you have to factor into it all. I just read this morning that the Ivy League, the college basketball conference, the Ivy League, you know, Harvard, Penn, and Yale, all of them, they canceled their tournament. They canceled their postseason tournament to determine who's going to go to the NCAAs for March Madness because of the coronavirus, because they were afraid. And you know, in Harvard, Yale law, these are pre-law people, so they're going to go ahead and sue like crazy. So you know, they don't want to take that chance. So it's going to be interesting how this all rolls out. It was also interesting that China, the leader in China, visited the Wuhan province today, which a lot of people are starting to take as a sign that the cases are going down, that they've managed to maybe control this a little bit in China. Of course, in Italy, it's kind of a little bit raging out of control. Here in the States, we don't know what the extent is. And 2 cases in Tampa is kind of scary. And you see even those guys who, you know, met with Trump, Representative Matt Gaetz, and I can't remember the other guy's name. And Mark Meadows, I think Mark Meadows is another one. They have self-quarantined themselves because they shook hands with that guy at the CPAC conference. So people are trying to be wary of this. So I wonder how far the WWE is going to go with this. I'm not going to lie to you. The Schmoedown is another possibility here. I mean, we were supposed to go to WrestleMania. Is that going to be canceled? We're supposed to go to Houston next. Is that in play? I don't know. So a lot of organizations, a lot of sports leagues and what have you have to really factor that in with their liability. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, remember, Vince kept going with that pay-per-view after Owen Hart died. So you asked me, do I think they would cancel? I think Vince would wait until the last possible minute to cancel a WrestleMania because that is their crown jewel, for lack of a better term, their crown jewel of the year in terms of pay-per-view. So I'd be surprised, Dodger. All right, Schmoedown sent in a StreamLabs as well. If I see you have the V for Vendetta mask in the background, is this some kind of tease? Will we see it's returning the Schmoedown? No, it's always there. It's always just sitting there hanging out on my voiceover thing because I just keep it as a reminder to people that I am still the Outlaw. I am still the original Outlaw and using the mask and everything like that. So it's more of a tease, like a wink or a nod, less of a tease of like it's coming back, that kind of thing. So I appreciate the question. Thanks, Schmoedown. We have a super chat. Social already did the super chat. Luis Enrique de la Peña subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. And this is from that CAD guy. He said, "Hey, John, what are your thoughts on Jake the Snake promo on AEW? By the way, great to see you working hard at pursuing your dreams. #inspirational." Thank you, CAD guy. I thought the promo was great. It was like 3 minutes and it blew the doors off whatever else was coming on that night. So, I mean, once a professional, always a professional. I'm just happy that Jake is clean and he's fantastic. So, I'm just a massive fan of Jake and good to see him bouncing back and being able to do these things because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about for getting the professionals involved, getting them into the situation, seeing how good they can be. All right, let's jump into some more of these. Albert, let's go to you first. Let's add you on. What's up, brother? How are you?
Hello, John. I'm doing good.
Where are you calling in from, man? Are you in Thailand? Where are you? I don't remember where you are half the time.
I am originally from Indonesia, but I'm currently studying in Purdue.
Okay.
And yeah, I just got the email recently that my whole campus is going to be not shut down. We're all going online starting next week because of the virus and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's real. This stuff is real now, affecting universities and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, my question that I wanted to ask you was actually in the same realm. Like, how do you think it's going to affect movies in general, especially like, I know maybe some, like, we know Bond has been pushed back.
Yeah.
But like, I'm thinking, how is it going to affect like movie theaters? Because they are not earning money as a whole from movie on its own. They get from concessions, and now people are more likely not going to go at all. What do you think is going to happen with all that?
Yeah, it's a good question you bring up, Albert. It's kind of scary right now to look at it because, I mean, there was already that talk. If you remember, back on Collider, numerous times on Movie Talk, we discussed the possibility that theaters were going to go out of fashion. We're going to go out of business.
Yeah.
And it was going to be event films that would show up and you'd pay the extra amount for the ticket and you'd get this massive screen and sitting in the 4D situation or whatever, you'd have that experience. But this now kind of accelerates that possibility because as people stay home more, and in China, they already released 2 of those big premiere films. They released them for streaming for free for people to watch. So studios can absolutely release films in streaming ways if they want to try to recoup some of that money. I think that will be the next thing they explore doing, because if you look at the fact that people don't want to go, wouldn't it be easier to not spend $30 on popcorn and candy and a hot dog and a Coke and just stay home, make it for yourself for $7 and then watch it on your screen? And I said this before when I've been on the shows. TV, 16-inch television, 7-inch television, 70-inch television, they're not that expensive anymore. Systems, 5.1 surround sound systems, not that expensive anymore. So those are those kinds of situations that could be going down the road, could be an issue for these movie theaters. I think AMC, they're fine because they're funded really well, but it's the mom and pop ones that are really in trouble here, Albert, because they absolutely rely on their concessions more than anything else. And Albert, they reduce the prices on those concessions to lure people away from places like AMC so they can come be patrons of their theater. And now this could be a real issue going down the road. Plus, older people go to those theaters rather than the big theaters because they know those are kind of niche theaters. There's not going to be a lot of people, and old people are the ones who are the most in danger of getting the coronavirus.
Yeah, and actually the local theater right near my campus just filed for bankruptcy. So, yep, that like the timing is just,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm worried. I think it's gonna. I mean, more than anything else, the economy. I think that's why Trump's freaking out and doing all these meetings, because he's like, if the economy starts to tank because of this virus, what's my response? What is my responsibility here? So, you got to give him a little bit of credit that he's actually having these meetings and trying to figure out what he's going to do next. But overall, it's a little scary, and I don't think we've seen the end of it, especially if we see what's happening in Italy. Because if more cases start popping up across the states, people are going to freak out even more, and that could cause a lot of financial issues for sure.
Yeah, I agree. One last thing.
Yeah.
I'm planning to go on a free-for-all, to the free-for-all.
Nice, Albert. Cool.
Yeah, I already got my tickets, and I'm leaning on going unless something like massive in terms of the health thingy happen. But yeah, I'm leaning to be there. So hopefully I'll be seeing you there.
That'd be great. I'd love to see you, man. It's always good to see you, dude. And we'll shake hands like this so we don't.
Shake elbows.
So we don't spread it. Awesome. Thanks, Albert. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
man.
John.
Take care. All right, there you go. Albert is one of my favorite people in the world. He does such great stuff here on the channel, and it's always so he's always so supportive. So I love it. Let's move on to is this Wiley Todd? Wiley Todd, is that you? Hello, look at him.
Yes, it is John Rocha. It is me, Wiley Todd. First, before I get into my question, John,
go ahead.
I got to tell you how much you have affected my life in so many ways.
Oh, thanks,
you are my hero. Whenever in school I get asked, like, who's like a person like you pray for often and you think about, and I say you are number one on the list for me every time.
Wiley. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
And you affected my life. Like Cinephiles has changed my life. I have at least watched every episode like 3 times. It's too much. I've been watching it too much.
Well, let me say one thing to let you know about the Cinephiles. Steve and I today tested out the idea of recording over Skype. So for the patrons of the Cinephiles, we're going to start releasing our shorts. They'll be on camera as well as on audio. So for people who want to see us going back and forth about it, that's a patron. For those of you who may be listening or watching right now and haven't joined the Cinephiles patron, that's an extra level or extra next step that we're going to do. And maybe at some point down the road, we'll actually do a whole show without any edits, and we'll just do the show. So thanks for being a fan of it, dude. And thank you for the kind words.
So my question is kind of broad, but I want to talk about it, which is, so recently I've been wanting to know more film, and I hear you and Steve talk about like watching old films and stuff. So I started down the rabbit hole to watch every James Bond movie.
Kalinowski's Wet Dream. Yes, go ahead.
And so I'm currently at The Man with the Golden Gun. So that's the second Roger Moore movie.
Right.
So because I know you talk about how you love Casino Royale and Daniel Craig's performance, but I've never heard you talk about any of the other Bonds. So could you tell me what you think about them?
Yeah. I am a Sean Connery person. I'm a George Lazenby person, certainly, and of course Daniel Craig, as you mentioned. I am not a Roger Moore guy. It's not really my thing. The smirky thing just isn't my thing when it comes to Bond. I enjoy Connery because Connery brought that kind of like old school macho braggadocio to that character, especially in Goldfinger. Really enjoyed him in that. And of course, Dr. No as well, the first one. But for Roger Moore, I think he's an acquired taste. Like he's cheeseball. He's fun, but it's kind of cheeseball, and he never sensed the stakes are that dangerous when you're watching those Bonds. You know, even the Dalton Bonds, I think, had a little more appeal to them for me than the Roger Moore Bonds. And I do like the Pierce Brosnan, but GoldenEye is my favorite of those 3 because I think that's less of the cute stuff going on, or 4 that he did. That's less of the cute stuff going on and more of, once again, the kind of macho approach to things, more kind of like on top of it and suave and charming. And with Daniel Craig is like a battering ram. You know what I'm saying? And so his suave and charm isn't the same level as like Connery or Pierce Brosnan. He's like, he'll just like beat you into submission verbally or facially or something like that. So I enjoy that because it's more in line with what Ian Fleming had as the vision for his James Bond. So I appreciate Daniel Craig's Bonds. But yeah, that's basically the order for me. I think it's Craig, Connery, Lazenby, Brosnan, Dalton, and then Roger Moore down there at the bottom, unfortunately. You know, but I know a lot of people love those films. So have you gotten to? So you just started on Moore. Are you enjoying Moore?
Yeah, I actually like him quite a bit.
Okay.
Because there's definitely a certain vibe with him. Like you said, he's kind of that cheesiness, but like he's trying to be that serious. Like in the Live and Let Die, he slaps the girl, which is a Sean Connery thing, and it was just like, why, and make no sense. And that's the thing, like living in this day and age in 2020 and watching these movies puts a real like perspective of what people thought at the time during then. And I was like, why did they do this? Like each one of these characters, the girl, I'm talking about the Bond girls, have something to them, but they never go into them whatsoever. Maybe in Thunderball, they do a little bit. But like one the Goldfinger, which personally I didn't love that movie that much. Everyone loves it because all the DB5 in that movie, and then you also have Golden Girl, of course. But the thing is with these movies in general, I find that there's so much like potential and but what they do is they kind of fall short with the Bond. Like From Russia with Love is my favorite one I've seen so far, bar none. It is. I love that movie because what they do with that movie is they take the girl character, which she has like two different styles because she's stuck in Russia and the whole point of his mission is to go save her. But she's like this smart and still can do her own thing, but she wants to live that royalty and kind of that American lifestyle. And we see that towards the end, but like at the end of the movie, she gets to use her like spy thing. So I think they needed more of that during this time. And so you see a little bit of shades of the other movies. But yeah, my favorite is Sean Connery, bar none. I just, he's so good.
Have you seen all the Daniel Craig ones?
So recently I did a stupid idea when I was starting off because I really wanted to watch them. So I've seen them before, but I watched Skyfall and I watched Spectre recently because I was gearing up for 1917.
Right.
Because I wanted to watch all his movies. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just watch them, even though I'm going to do this whole watch along. But yeah, I love Daniel Craig too. It's like, I know it's outside of the movie, but when he said he'd rather stab himself in the eye with glass than do another one, kind of just put like a bad taste in my mouth.
I understand.
So I watched them and I'm like, are you really enjoying doing this? Because you can see like the funness that Sean Connery is having. And like, he's like, yeah, I'm like doing this. Like come on, James Bond. And I think I would argue that there's way less physical tax and toll on Sean Connery's body than on Daniel Craig's body in his movie. So, and I think if you're Daniel Craig, you're like, I would love to do a Sean Connery Bond. That would be a lot of fun. 5 stunts tops the whole film. Great. I'm down. But nowadays he has to do so much. So it does probably get on his nerves and everything like that. So I get that. And plus it was after Spectre, which a lot of people didn't like. So maybe he sensed it. I love that movie, by the way.
I do too. I defend it. It's an old
Thank
school
you, John
Bond
Rocha. This is why you're see.
I mean, I love Skyfall's still my favorite, but Spectre I can defend because it's an old school Bond. So it's
exactly like a From Russia with Love, totally like even if you watch No Time to Die, for example, I can see him doing these Sean Connery, like when he gets angry in the car in the trailer, you can kind of see that Sean Connery tendencies. I'm like, okay, I like this. And I loving this history. And that's why I love about film is because there's so much you can tell. And James Bond was just this weird vice, like of how they treated people and stuff. And I'm loving it. And it's like, I'm going down this rabbit hole for the first time. And I'm enjoying all of it.
I envy you, Wiley. I love seeing things for the first time. So I always envy people who get to enjoy things for the first time themselves. So keep enjoying them, man. Keep watching them. And of course, Kalinowski, you just probably became his favorite person in the world now for that shit. So there you go. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, John Rocha.
Take care, brother. Thank you. All right, who we got next? Waiting. I know he's been waiting a while. Let's jump in here. What's up, man? RDG124. What's going down, dude?
Hey, how you doing, John? Can you hear me well? I'm just using this cheap old. I used to have a Samsung S7, and I'm just using this earpiece, and I guess it works.
Yeah, don't sweat it, man. I can hear you. What's going down?
Yeah. You know what? You actually answered my question already on the. I sent a StreamLabs regarding WrestleMania 36.
What do you think's going to happen?
I don't know. I think a week before the pay-per-view, I think we'll be able to know.
Yeah.
For sure. I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. My first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 6. Remember when we had to use the black boxes?
Yeah.
Back then?
Cool.
Yeah, that was my first WrestleMania I watched on TV.
Yeah.
Live.
You had to rent them, right? Or if you bought the box, you had to like order it through the box.
Well, you can also pirate it too.
Oh, well.
Back then. But that was back in the days. Now you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But
I think there's a statute of limitations, so I could say yes. Pirating the box. I remember.
Yeah, I think I was like about. I'm 38 now, but I was like not. I think it was 1990 when WrestleMania 6 was. So I was I was 8 years old.
Yeah, that's Warrior versus
Yeah.
Hogan WrestleMania.
Oh
6.
yeah, that's still one of my favorites, and I like the fact that I had a lot of matches too. It had more than probably like 10 matches.
Oh yeah.
And I liked it because they built the storylines when they had only the big 4 pay-per-views.
Right.
And I liked how the storylines all just, build up.
Yeah.
Within,
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, because our we weren't in an ADD culture at that time, bro, and I think that's why you could have a rivalry for a year with somebody and go through multiple like iterations of the rivalry, different matches until it ends up at WrestleMania. And now you can't do that because people's attention spans are so quick nowadays. Your rivalry is done within 2 pay-per-views, if that. And so, like, look what happened with Kofi. Kofi got beat for the title, and Kofi never got his rematch against Brock Lesnar for the belt. So sometimes if the creative says your rivalry is done, your rivalry is done. But back in the old days, you could wrestle at house shows, you could wrestle on TV, you could wrestle at the pay-per-views, and it would escalate. One would win, the other would win, one would win, the other would win, and then you settle it all in WrestleMania. Or you could drag out the Warrior thing. That was a whole year they dragged that out until Warrior faced Hogan for the title. They built.
Oh yeah, and I think at the Royal Rumble, that's when things started heating up.
Right.
At the Royal Rumble when I think they were with the last 2.
Rumble.
They were like the last 2 in the ring.
Yep.
I think. Awesome. Yeah. So all right, well that question's answered. So we'll wait and see. Yeah. But I haven't. I think I have a fun fact. Not too many people know.
Okay.
James Bond. Was Quantum of Solace the only Bond movie where he didn't actually make love to the Bond girl? Is that the only? Is that
I don't know. I think he did have sex with the girl that gets oil poured on her. I think he had sex with her the night before, and then he comes home. Comes back to the hotel room rather, and she's covered
that's right.
in oil.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, other than that, there was no like sort of intimacy between the main.
He didn't have anything with Olga Kurylenko at all in the movie because she was pursuing something else. So it's a good. Well, because he's also in love with Vesper Lynd, so that is carrying over. That's the storyline over those first 4 Bond films. Is that connection with her and what it leads to in Spectre and what it leads to.
Yeah, and he's still not over what happened to Vesper Lynd from the last one. He's still grieving over that, as you can see. So,
absolutely,
yeah. All right, and one more question. So I have the top 5. What are your top 5 terrible movies that are rewatchable? You think? Here's my top 5 real quickly. It was although you could arguably say that The Specialist with Sylvester Stallone. I could watch that every single day.
Oh, apparently you don't like you don't mind bad Spanish accents like Rod Steiger's accent.
No,
we're gonna get you guys. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, he's really
sure.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Steiger.
Yeah. Yes, The Specialist. Chill Factor. Remember Chill Factor?
Oh yeah, is that the Skeet Ulrich one?
Yeah, Skeet Ulrich one and Cuba Gooding Jr. I could watch that. I mean, no matter how my friends told me how bad that movie was, I could watch that every single day.
Yep.
She's Out of My League, 2011.
That is not a bad movie.
That wasn't a bad movie.
That's
at
a
all.
good movie. That's not a bad movie that you have to. You should not feel good. Alice Eve and Jay Baruchel are funny in that movie. So is T.J. Miller. I know his comments he made, whatever, but T.J. is funny in that movie. I enjoy that movie. It's good. She's beautiful as hell, Alice Eve. People remember from Star Trek Into Darkness as well. Yeah.
Exactly. I would have to put. Well, I wouldn't say that it's a bad movie, but Cloak and Dagger, 1984, with Dabney Coleman and Henry Thomas.
That's Chance's favorite film now. Now that he was Schmoedown.
Yeah, and I'll put one more out there to the Girl Next Door. That one was 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad either. Although my friends still tell me this movie sucks.
That's with Elisha Cuthbert, right? From
Canadian girl.
Yep,
Canadian girl. Yeah. So, what were your?
Oh, real quick, because we got 5 more people, but I'll jump. I'll say Batman vs Superman is a certain one that I cannot turn away from, even though it's terrible. Green Lantern is another one that it's terrible, but I love it. Hudson Hawk is terrible, but I love it.
Never seen Hudson Hawk. Wouldn't that come out like 1989?
It came out in the 90s, early 90s or something. It's Bruce Willis and Danny Aiello. For whatever reason, I love it. I will defend A Million Ways to Die in the West. I don't know what it is about that movie that I enjoy that everybody else hates, but I love that thing from beginning to end. I've watched it many, many times. It's fun. The mustache song, all of it is funny. And
I gotta
what's a
rewatch
fifth
that
one?
one.
What's a fifth one I think I could throw in there real quick? What's the guilty? Oh, Zorro the Gay Blade. I'd probably put Zorro the Gay Blade, the 80s
Zorro the Gay Blade.
masterpiece. If you guys haven't seen George
I
Hamilton
haven't
playing
seen that one yet.
twins as Zorro, he plays a Mexican guy as Zorro and his twin, who's a gay Mexican guy who comes back from serving on a British frigate to take over and play Zorro. And it's actually damn good. We did it on the Cinephiles, so I would recommend that to anybody who hasn't listened to that episode. I actually like that movie, even though some people might claim it's terrible. So.
I'll check that out. Thank you very much, John. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man.
I haven't been. I mean, I've been starting to watch you since Collider, so
thanks, man.
So it's really not that long, but I'm a huge fan of you guys.
I appreciate it, dude.
So keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I will, and thanks for calling in, dude. It's good talking to you.
All right, take care, John.
Take care, bro. Well, I appreciate the calls coming in here. Colin, you've been waiting for a while. Let me jump into you, and then I'll jump into some StreamLabs. So if you sent in some StreamLabs, I will get to them just now. If you haven't send some in. If you've got questions to ask me, I know Smets is in there. What's he doing? What's Smets doing? Is he still trying to wash his hoodie? For God's sakes, I don't know. Colin, what's up, man? How are you? Can I see you? Are you there? Hello. I can see you. I can see you down here, but I can't see you up here. Is it your camera? What's the deal?
I don't know. I'm on my dorm Wi-Fi. Is it back?
Let me see. Yeah, for some reason. Anyway, all right. Well, if we can't get your picture to come up, that's just part of it, I guess. What's going down, man? What do you want to ask? Hello? Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Boom.
There we are.
Look at that. There you go. All right. Good. Good job, Colin. Good job. Yeah,
awesome.
I got you.
Sorry, I'm on my dorm Wi-Fi. It's not the best.
Good luck, man. What's your question, brother?
Yeah, so I was just watching the Champions League a couple hours ago, and Atalanta Valencia, they were behind closed doors, empty stadium. Like that's all of it. Like Italy, no games for the next month, and Spain, no fans for the next 2 weeks. Do you see that expanding throughout all of Europe? Like, do you think the Champions League's gonna finish the season, or is it gonna?
Well, some of these managers have come out like what's his face? Tottenham got knocked out. Yikes. What's his face? Pep Guardiola came out and said, like, I'm not gonna play into empty stadiums. These players don't deserve to play in empty stadiums. It's like, hey, pal, people are dying. People could come from going to your, and it's not like people come to soccer matches as the most cleanest people on the planet either. So you don't want to be in a situation where you catch something and then, you can sue the club. You could sue the organization that puts on the Champions League because they're responsible for security at all these venues. So those are the things that you have to worry about for the coronavirus. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm so surprised the Premier League hasn't said anything about it just yet. It's been the Champions League and Italy and Spain who's been more worried about it because the UK doesn't have a high number just yet of cases like they do. I mean, they're talking about shutting down Serie A, which hasn't happened since the league started, I don't think. Maybe World War II was the last time they probably ceased playing for a year. So this would be shocking on so many levels if they actually did that. But the Champions League that's a huge financial animal for soccer. So if they cancel that would be shocking as well, especially because Liverpool's got to play tomorrow. Let us play tomorrow, then you can do whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see Real Madrid Liverpool rematch in the final. See if we can get.
Today they played. Yeah, right. Well, and don't cheat like last time. We had that guy take out Salah.
Come on. No, Ramos. Come on.
Dirty, that Ramos. They should have kicked him out of soccer for the rest of his life. It was disgusting.
Oh, come on.
That's not how you play. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
No,
man.
John,
we'll see what
there's
happens.
nothing wrong with Ramos.
Please. There's so much wrong with that dirty player.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, we'll see what happens, Colin. Though it's a good question. I appreciate it. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You got another question? We're rolling out.
I don't know. It's just kind of a weird situation. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, definitely. Keep tweeting at me. We'll go back and forth about it. Definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
All
right.
Thanks, man. Good
see you,
talking
John.
to you. Take care, brother. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, that's Colin Martinez. I've seen him send some stuff over the social media time. So A lot of good stuff there. All right, let me jump into some of these StreamLabs, and I will get to the people who are waiting. I will get to Raven. I will get to ZCM Zombie. I can't read the rest of that, but I will definitely get to you two in just a second. Let me finish up these StreamLabs here. Where did I leave off at? Yeah, Cad Guy. Oh, Kevin Smets. Congrats on the relaunch, brother. Here's your starter fund for those nifty smusher hoodies you're going to make millions on. P.S. You still suck, but I love you. Hashtag or no dash Smetsy. Thank you, Smets. I appreciate that. I'm smashing you, ain't I? I'm smashing you, Smusher. I'm smashing you with that. I got you. You didn't think about it. You were like, oh, I got Smasher. It's perfect. And I came right underneath. So we'll see what happens. But Smusher hoodies would be funny. I'll definitely wear one if we play in Star Wars. No lie. Andrew Hale, StreamLab Outlaw. Has anybody stumbled into your channel and has said, who the heck is the Outlaw? Then because of you, got them to watch the Schmoedown? That would be an awesome story. Your drive to build and grow is inspirational in all sorts of ways. Good work. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. I haven't experienced that myself personally, but I know people have come up to me and told me whenever they want to introduce people to Schmoedown that they play one of my matches. I'm not the only, I'm sure other people have come up to like Viviani or come up to Rachel or come up to Dan or Clark or any of these other people who've been big parts of the Schmoedown, Ben, and said to them, hey, I got them into Schmoedown through your match. So for me, that has happened to me a number of times actually over the years. People have played my match with Dan or my match with Christian or even my rivalry with Mance and got people into the Schmoedown. So that's been true, but I've never personally like showed my match to anybody or had someone stumble into my channel and then become a Schmoedown fan, but that could be something. Alex O'Neill, thank you for the donation, man. John, I don't know if you have seen the news that Arsenal versus Man City tomorrow has now been postponed because of coronavirus concerns. I did not see that. Olympiacos owner tested positive. Holy shit. And Arsenal played them in Europe. Real concern that Liverpool aren't awarded the title? Hell no. We earned that title. There is no way we're not winning that title this year. I don't care what happens. If they cancel the league, they have to default and give us the title, just like they did. Like I was mentioning earlier, they canceled the postseason tournament for the Ivy League, but I think it was Yale or Penn, whoever. I think Yale's in first place in the league, so then Yale's the automatic entrant into the March Madness as a representative of the Ivy League. So as it stands now, we're 3 wins away from winning the title. There's no way Liverpool doesn't win that title if they let the games play out. If they don't let the games play out, we're in first place by 25 points. So by that logic alone, we should be handed the title if they cancel the season. So for me, it's a title either way. And of course, other teams' fans will say it's an asterisk, and they can kiss my ass because they earned it. Liverpool is so far. It's not like they're 2 points above Man City and they got the title. They're 25 points ahead of everybody else. So it's a legitimate title any way they do it, whether they cancel the season or not. So good question, though. I didn't hear about Arsenal versus Man City. That's madness, man. I hope we get to play our Champions League tomorrow. I've been looking forward to that game. All right, Raven, what you got, man? How's it going, brother?
What's up?
What's up? Look at that beard. Respect, man. I respect it.
So I just want to say that it's an honor seeing you face to face.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but just to let you know, I'm the guy who wrote the Outlaw song.
Oh, sweet, dude. Yeah, that was
What's
you.
Up? Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
And I'm actually from Palau. I wasn't here on vacation or whatever. I'm living here, so I'm pretty far away from the States right now. So
right. Okay.
But yeah, I'm a big fan. But anyways, the reason why I brought that up is you said on the last when I messaged you the last stream, you said, hey, you should come up with a new one or whatever. And I'm like, since then, I haven't been really getting, things going creatively. So my question to you is, what do you do to kind of get out of that mental block or to get the creative juices rolling?
It's a good question, man. To be honest with you, because I struggle with it on the Outlaw Nation channel, because I'm trying to create something that's going to make me distinct from everybody else. Like my personality is already distinct enough from everybody else, so that is a selling point. But you got to come up with content that says it's you, and so I understand where you're at, Raven, because I'm having those struggles now myself. Like what's going to differentiate me from other channels as I build and grow? What's going to differentiate the shows that I do from other channels as I build and grow? Because I have big visions for it. So, okay, that's the sit. So what do? Sometimes I get caught up in my cycle of no one's going to like it. It's not going to be that good. If I record it, I've already thrown away 3 movie reviews because I didn't like how they came across and I didn't feel like recording because it took so much out of me to record it the first time because I'm dealing with my own struggles of worries or insecurity about getting it right. So what I do when I'm in those creative moments, though, is I understand that this is an organic process. Creativity is an organic process. So I retrace my steps. What inspired me then when I created what I created, and what motivated me to do that work at that time? Now, if none of those motivating things are like organically inspiring me to create the next thing, then I just go on the hunt for what it is, where I'm feeling. I get back in touch with what's going on inside me and go, okay, what do I need right now? What's a new thing? Do I need to push myself past a comfort zone? Because that's usually what it is, man. When it's, to me at least, I'm not saying for everybody, but creative blocks are usually about you being afraid to go into the unknown and the not knowing what is going to happen, because you're afraid you might fail or fall down or not be able to get back up. And all I can tell you is when you push past that comfort zone of safety, then your balls are on the line. And when your balls are on the line, you find out what you can create. And when you're done with that process, you'd be surprised what comes out of it. So that's what I would say to you, man. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know specifically what your block is from your own, your own thing, but I would say find a way to push past your comfort zone in some fashion that inspires you that scares you creatively, and then see what comes out of that.
That totally makes a lot of sense. Thanks. Because my whole thing is I was like, my whole time I tried to delve into different avenues to see if I'm good. And so basically kind of like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Right.
Right.
And I think that's the problem is I haven't found that specific avenue that kind of gets me going creatively. So what you said actually really helps. So thanks for that.
Oh, you're welcome, Raven. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in, dude.
Yeah, thanks. And I'll hopefully you do this more and we can talk more, and pretty soon hopefully I'll get that song going. I'll get that track going.
Dude, take your time and find it when you find it, because you obviously were inspired to create that song. And I can't tell you all during my run last year how much that song got me into right frame of mind before I walked out to play. It's no lie, Raven. Every single time I played it to get me in the mood. My girlfriend would tell you that. Anybody who watches me would tell you that. I'd bring it up on YouTube, put my headphones in, I'd get into my zone, because the lyrics were so perfect, and the rap and the song, all of it just worked so well. So when I walked out there, I was ready. I was just ready to take on anybody, and certainly played it over and over again in Orlando before I walked out there to win the titles with Dan. So I can't thank you enough, Raven. Every piece of, or you have a piece of that tag team title, brother. Trust on that.
Thank you. That means so much. Dude, all right. Get back to, I'll see you.
All right, man. And this will be a weekly thing, Raven. So I'll be here every week doing this, having fun with this. So thank you, man.
All right. Horseman!
Thanks, Raven. I appreciate that. It's very kind. All right, Zombie, you've been waiting. What's going down, brother? Man, look at that hat. Nice.
There we go.
Respect.
There we go. Just
hair.
gotta say,
I'm
man.
envious of your hair, man. That's great.
Thank you. I gotta say, man, I wanted to meet you at Houston. I just didn't get the chance. I think you walked out of the comedy set. No, it's all good. Yeah. I've been wanting to go to some of these events, and surprisingly, like, I have like fraternity stuff, and then just college just kind of gets in the way of everything.
Of course.
I could have made it to the Atlanta match, but like coronavirus, and I mean I had spring break, but that doesn't matter. Right. Anyway, I wanted to ask, because I'm a big fan of Upgrade, and I really enjoyed The Invisible Man. Yeah. And I think you said you really enjoyed it as well.
Hell yeah, dude! I love that movie.
Yeah, I did watch. Speaking of RB3 father, Martin on Double Toasted, they and Corey, they were like, well, if you were a guy that had this suit, would you really just stalk a woman when you can go out there and do so many other things like that? They made a good point. But I wanted to say, how do you think, because Lee Winnell's supposed to do Escape from New York, the remake? Yeah. I love that first movie. That's one of my favorites. How do you think it's going to go along with the times? Like, how would you do it? Like, what would you, like? I know that's like sounds like a big like thing to make up in your mind on the spot, but at the same time, I don't see like movies like Bloodshot. I don't think people are going to go see that. Like some of these movies, or like I'm trying to think of like these old movies that come out, or Blade Runner 2049. That's a perfect example. Maybe that bombed. Didn't get a lot of a lot of people didn't go see it, but anyway, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at Lee Winnell for Escape from New York, Lee Winnell does. If you look at Upgrade, there is a sinister smile going through that movie, that entire movie, from what Logan Marshall Green is going through in that film. Right, every time he has to confront Stem, there's a weird kind of like, what the hell is it? All of that, and it's funny to watch, even though it would be actually terrifying if you were in that situation, because that thing has complete control of your body. And doing, like, I thought some of the funniest moments, and funny in a way that's like, oh my God, is his reaction to when he's killing everybody around him in the kitchen. And he's just like, what are we doing? Why is this happening? So there's humor to that I think he understands in these like harder terror kind of situations. And you look at Escape from New York, right? That is also has a big smirk running all the way through, because Kirk Douglas plays that character. I mean, Kurt Russell plays that character so believably, but also Kurt Russell has that smirk always underneath everything he's doing as well. So I think for me, it's the casting is the number one. I don't doubt Logan can do it. I think he'd bring the right mood, the right atmosphere to it. The idea of the president being kidnapped, I think it'll have a different element to it, because the president was kind of like not at fault, I think, in Escape from New York for what had happened. So I think the president would have way more to do with what happened to him in this situation. Don't be surprised if it's a twist, because he loves to throw twists in these movies, that the president is actually involved with getting himself kidnapped so that they can bring out Snake Plissken to have this kind of confrontation. So I think that's a possibility. I think some of the stereotypes you saw in that movie in the original, you could not get away with nowadays. So you definitely have to make them a little more complex in terms of characters, or give them a little more layers in that way. So I think that's would be the difference, but you can't lose that grindhouse aspect to it all, or you lose the whole point of it.
No, you can't. I even think, like, because I remember in the news, Robert Rodriguez was supposed to remake it, and he was supposed to adapt it as if it's the inverse. It's kind of like Elysium or something.
Yeah, Elysium.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I do think you need to make a movie that's kind of like poignant and speaks to the times.
Yeah.
You do a twist. I think Lee Winnell, I've noticed this. He did this in Invisible Man. This is not that big of a spoiler, but it ends with just the frame, the camera, it's kind of like the 400 Blows, where it just ends on that main character's face. And you just realize that, man, that these people are just something else, something different.
Yeah.
And that could go along with Snake Plissken's, ideologies, and how this movie is very, very old. I wouldn't even care to see Kurt Russell come back. I wouldn't either, I'll be honest with you. I would not see Kurt Russell. Because I wasn't a big fan of Escape from LA, even though what was his name? The guy that was surfing with him?
Yeah, Peter Fonda.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey man, like the CGI was just kind of like at the time.
Right.
And I think Carpenter was going for like a parody or something. And I don't know where his head was at. He was probably smoking a lot, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, it's not my favorite sequel, that's for sure. And I think the times had moved on, and so he tried to put that film with the same kind of atmosphere or vibe that the first one had, and it really, in my opinion, it really didn't work. I think some people do like it, but in my opinion, it didn't work at all. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel updated at all. This feels like a kind of a nostalgia piece, but a weird nostalgia piece. So
yeah, and I do think Lee Winnell has good potential with remaking or rebooting the Monster Universe for sure.
Dude, that guy could win an Oscar down the road. I think it's possible.
I think he did something new with Invisible Man. He did something. He reinvented it with technology, pretty much.
Yep.
And I can see it work. I can see a sequel. I can see a sequel on the horizon.
Totally. Look.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but certainly that's a possibility. If not more than just a sequel, that's certainly a possibility as well. Like I said, no spoilers, but the way the film ends leaves open a lot of possibilities. So to me, that's a positive overall. And so, yes, I agree with you 100%. And I think, and this is his second film. Like we're seeing, and I said this on SCN Live, it's incredible to see how many actors, or how many people, how many new directors there are.
Krasinski.
Yeah, right. Who are jumping from their first film into their second film, and their second film is even more ambitious and gutsy and ballsy, and they're knocking it out of the park. I know people might laugh at this, but I think what what's her face did with from going from Lady Bird to Little Women, Greta Gerwig, she's done an incredible job jumping in. Jordan Peele from Get Out to Us. I think there's so much jumping through here. Yeah, Coogler, Ryan Coogler from Fruitvale Station to Black Panther to God knows what's next, and then Creed as well. So all of them are just coming out with some incredible work, and I think this is the new era of the young directors coming in and pushing the genres and pushing the limits of the medium of film in incredible directions. And we're lucky to be living at this time in kind of a new golden age coming for directors.
I don't know if Luca Guadagnino would count, even though I think he did like a couple movies before that. But I mean, Call Me by I didn't see Suspiria because like I'm a little Josh McCouga about that like kind of movie because like it looked like too much for me. I love these new horror movies coming out. I'm excited for A Quiet Place. I can't wait to see what Krasinski does. I would love to see if he just went into the human aspect of this, and maybe down the line he just follows the kids in the future, and then we get more into like the different kind of creatures. I don't want to keep you on too long. I know you got to get to the super chats, but I was just wanted to call in and saying I'm actually really big fan of the Outlaw, and I think my favorite match of all time is the Free For All 3, and I love like all the people just coming together and like but no, I love all the matches with Mance. We got to get Mance back. That's definitely for sure.
We'll see down the road. He's so busy making it work, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Zombie. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for the kind words, dude. Honestly, appreciate it madly.
All right, catch you later, man.
All right, take care, brother.
All right, take it easy.
All right, there you go. Zombie ZCM custom movie maps, I think is what it was. So shout out to him for jumping in. Let me see if there's any more StreamLabs before we move on to our next guest here on the Outlaw Nation show, the return of the Outlaw Nation show. Hero Andrew G said the Escape from New York talk made me think of how much I want to see a live action Akira. I think it would be really cool to see happen and see what someone could do with it. Even if it has some changes, I think it would work. It could work with the right people. I don't disagree with you at all. I think we recently did that film again on the Cinephiles and broke it down and had a really good time talking about it. I think Emma Fife was our guest for it as well. And so this is a film that I thoroughly love. Still my favorite anime ever made. Ghost in the Shell is like just right below it. Still one of my favorite animes ever made. So I'd love to see a live action. It's an ambitious undertaking because people love that movie. So if you mess it up, people can be super, super upset at you. So that would be the thing. You'd have to have the right director whose shoulders were strong enough to carry that weight and bring it to life. So we'll see down the road what happens. All right, let's jump into the next person calling. Raptor, what's going down, dude? The Raptor, man. What's up? What's up?
Not the master, but sure. But thank you. Wow, I found. Wow, I'm Kim for the first time ever. I'm talking the Outlaw face to face.
What's up, dude? I like you got some wrestling stuff going on back there behind you. What is that? Oh no, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Then Baby Driver, Ready Player One. You got Joker, and then of course Mickey Mouse just to balance it out. I respect that.
Thank you. My room is a variety of things. Even the poster behind my laptop right here is a little bit right here. So nice. Thanks. I don't know. You might recognize my name right here. I'll give you some context before I give you my question real quick.
Okay.
My name is Jonathan Peck right here. And I'm from little shout out to our hometown from Alexandria, Virginia, actually.
Right on, man. Yeah. Northern Virginia. Nova.
Nova, DMV right here. DC, Maryland, Virginia right here. So, yeah. And also, I don't know, it's been also a long time because I remember you and Nose right here kind of roast me on something about a Blooded Dome episode about Scooby-Doo.
Years ago. Oh, Scooby-Doo. Thank you for making us watch that.
Yeah, I was the one who picked it.
Yeah.
And you kind of risked me out, not because of that, but it's about sort of was supposed to do another different budget week before because I was sort of busy on that point though, and you kind of risked me out here calling me a son of a bitch about that one's like you effing lazy or something like that. So yeah, good times right here. And also, I've been listening to you for a very long time since 2015 right here, and been listening to the Cinephiles right here since like 2018. Started a little bit back right here. I'm binging along right here, and even got my Cinephiles recommendation on the show at one point. Back to the Future.
Oh, right.
It's really fantastic. Yeah, right here. I know it's a little odd, but I'll try to
Thank
do
you.
this as soon as possible. By the way, just want to answer my real question real quick. I just want to know your thoughts or predictions of some sort about this year's NFL free agency so far. Do you have any sort of predictions around here, or some moves might potentially happen, or something may least expected though?
Jonathan, it's a good question, man. But the concern, answering the question is not easy now with that collective bargaining agreement still on the table and still being something they're debating, right? Tom Brady, it's very clear that Tom Brady is like, I'm going to wait till this whole thing gets settled and the contract gets signed in terms of the collective bargaining agreement, and then I'll figure out if I can go back to New England or not. But I would not be surprised if Tom Brady does end up leaving New England and going someplace else. The idea, I read a great Ringer article that presented this idea of swapping Jimmy Garoppolo for Tom Brady, and San Francisco goes on one run next year and goes and gets that title. Remember, Peyton Manning went over to Denver after Indianapolis had let him go when they didn't want him back because of that neck injury. Peyton was like, all right, just let me go to another place. And they let him go to Denver, and he did bring that title. He didn't get there the first year, but he got there the second year, retired. So it would not surprise me at all to see Brady go to San Francisco and make this switch with Jimmy G.
Or
even back.
Even recently signed that little deal right here, like the like that. I wouldn't be surprised maybe go to the Chargers, perhaps, if you want to stay at like the West Coast, basically, right here. I know, like that, but
I don't see. I mean, they don't have the talent. I don't think they have the talent, to be honest with you, in my opinion, to lure Tom Brady. I think San Francisco is ready made with that defense and those receivers and those running backs. Raheem Mostert was a beast last year. So to me, that would be the situation.
All right. That's a good.
What about you? What do you think is going to happen? Do you have any crazy predictions?
Loosey goosely, basically, right here. Go back to the Brady thing right here. One thing I said was somewhat question right here of a Facebook group 1 point, and one of them is it's actually a little funny one, but also sort of a clever one. But it said like if anyone will pay any general manager could pay Tom Brady high right here, this should be fired. Unless you're the Las Vegas Raiders right here, might potentially happening. So
I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair. I think
and also saying you took a picture with Mark Davis 1 point, so who knows?
I got two people you need to watch for. Melvin Gordon, that's one you need to watch for, and Kenyon Drake. You got to see where these guys end up and see if they're going to move into new places and what effect they could have on their teams and their respective teams. Because sometimes it's just a bad situation when you get out of it. Amari Cooper is a free agent as well. Where's Amari Cooper going to land? Because they can't even pay Dak Prescott. But here they are, like with Amari Cooper hanging around out there. So there's not a lot of big names out there, but there are a few. Certainly, Teddy Bridgewater is a free agent here. So is Drew Brees. So they're going to lock it all down, I think, after this agreement comes down. And then we'll start to see some people switching teams or some surprises down the road.
Yeah, you might see some people like going jump ship. Like the one prediction I think maybe sort of be an interesting idea. How about sort of Melvin Gordon might go to a place like the Texans right here? Yeah. What do you think on that?
That could work. Absolutely. I mean, who's down there? Foster, is that who's down there right now? The running back? He was the one that got hurt. Who was the one that got hurt there Darren, wasn't it Foster for the Texans? He got hurt.
No.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Which I have something for you. Yeah, I think one of them might be work. I think you might see the one. I think we'll see Teddy Bridgewater might go a team like maybe his guess at this point maybe the Buccaneers. I guess because I think Tampa's kind of done with the Jameis stuff right here. I think they made chances. Apparently didn't work. Yeah,
they need to be. Lamar Miller is their running back. That's what I was thinking about.
Okay,
he's the one who got hurt. Yeah, for the Texans. But yeah, it could. I mean, it depends on what they do with the quarterback. But Tampa Bay could be an interesting situation for sure. Especially it's a warm weather situation. So when you're an older running back, it does help the knees to be in warmer weather rather than colder weather. So that's certainly possible, Jonathan. We'll see.
Yeah, and I have another one in mind, but it's sort of like more like a 2-year deal scenario. I think. What do you think maybe possible landings by like Philip Rivers right here? That since he's kind of done with the Chargers, though.
Where would he go? Where do you want him to go?
Yeah,
where
the only place? Well, maybe Tampa might be another option, or maybe Indianapolis. What do you think?
Well, I think they're set with Jacoby in Indianapolis, but Tampa Bay is a possibility. That could be interesting because Tampa Bay has good receivers. They have a decent running back or a good running back, and they got a strong defense. So Tampa, another team is Jacksonville. I know they're going to get rid of Foles, but Gardner Minshew isn't the guy that's going to lead you, I think, into the playoffs. So Phillip Rivers going down to Jacksonville wouldn't be a bad idea either. With Fournette and that defense, they could revitalize that entire team.
Yeah, and I have one. I'm gonna put one last going. It's mainly my team,
okay,
aka our team, and our free agency idea was what do you think might possibly might get in? Byron Jones might join our team right with the Skins though, like Byron Jones or maybe Chris Harris for Denver, because we need sort of our corners right here since Josh Norman left, all that stuff I hear. What do you think on that?
Those are two good options, absolutely. And I think I think they're not sure yet what they want to do with that defense. I think Rivera's kind of figuring it out as he goes along. I think the draft is going to have a big part of it as well. Who is he going to take? A quarterback? Are there any cornerbacks out there that'll drop to the Redskins later on in the draft? So those are possibilities as well, because every team likes to go younger and younger, especially at those running positions. And I mean the quarterbacks and I mean the running backs. Both those positions are real run dependent in terms of their abilities to move across the field. So I think they want young guys in there with young knees. Look at the Jets. They just got rid of that dude. They cut him $75 million. They were on the hook for him for 45 or something like that. And he counts 20 million towards the cap space. So you don't want to take a chance on older corners. It's younger corners that you want to bring in. So I think those two guys you mentioned are in that range prime wise where it would make sense to bring them in, but we'll see what they do in the draft. I think that's going to be something to look at.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate the call, dude. It was good meeting you, man.
Thanks. And I hope someday right here, my Patrick meet in person right here. So let's maybe do one of the top 10 show around DC or Virginia right here. Or like a week ago, Christian just released the poll of the possibly Schmoedown live events right here. And DC and Maryland got very close to second place right here. So it might be a possibility around here though. And finally, I wish I could talk to you like face to face right here, talk about more sports stuff, because my dad's been a long-time Skins fan, like you right here. I wish I have a casual conversation about that someday.
All right. I'm down. Definitely. When we see each other, I'm down with it, Jonathan. Thank you so much, dude. Good talking to you. Take care, and hail the Redskins, brother.
That's the Skins. Yeah. Yeah.
Take care. All right. Let me see if I got any StreamLabs before I move on to my next caller in here on the Outlaw Nation Show, the return of the Outlaw Nation Show. Really appreciate it. Everyone, please send in your StreamLabs if you got questions you want to ask me or any of the super chats. I haven't seen any super chats roll through, so I haven't been answering any of those through it, but I know the chat is lively here. I got about 80 of you in here. So I was hoping to get a bit more, but maybe some of you all are like just chilling out and hanging out. And so I'm cool with it. Yeah. Smets should call in. What's Smets doing, for God's sakes? All right, let's move on. J-Dog, what's going on, dude? How's it going?
Rocha, how are you, sir?
Good, man. What's going on?
Greetings from Concord, not Concord, Concord, New Hampshire. But yeah, this is my first time in the Schmoedown / Collider realm in the video form, Rocha. I wanted to save it for you, not Roxy, not Christian. They can wait. Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm honored. I appreciate it. What's going on?
Let me show you this. We talked last week about a 2008 Major League Baseball All-Star Game ball from the Bronx, Yankee Stadium. I'm going to get you and Christian each one of these, and when I see you at the Schmoedown, I'm going to give both of you one, because I know you guys are Yankees guys.
Yeah, massive Yankees fan. Yeah, since I was 10 years old.
Indians fan, right? Your future owner, by the way. But I'll get those out to you guys when you guys have Schmoedown in Boston, whenever that is. I'm on the website every day, waiting for something to happen. Yeah. But what I wanted to talk to you about was the way I see it is this. You talked about the coronavirus and movies and the like.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a limb here. This is crazy. Just call me crazy if you want. I've been called worse. I don't think there's going to be a $1 billion grosser in 2020 because of the coronavirus. That includes Wonder Woman 1984, No Time to Die, which I was dying to see. Now I got to wait till Thanksgiving to see it, and I will. But I don't see any movie. I could see him making 800 to 900, but because of the Chinese box office, I think and again, Italy is shutting down travel. I'm supposed to go to WrestleMania in a few weeks. I have no idea if it's going to happen or not.
Right. A lot of people worried about that one. So what
do you think?
What's your question is, do you think no film is going to cross $1 billion because of the coronavirus?
Yeah. Do you think in your mind in 2020, this year alone, 2020, because of the coronavirus, that there will be no $1 billion grosser?
Well, I think right now when you're looking at a J-Dog, it's a good thing to it's a good bet to make that it won't happen. However, like I said earlier, the fact that the Chinese president is already visiting the Wuhan province kind of lets me know that maybe they're figuring something out. They're getting on top of this thing. I think that's going to be the difference, to be honest with you, because we're in March, right? If they kind of get on top of it and control it and get those tests out, which they're bumbling about doing, if they get those tests out in time and then find a way to move those out into other countries and get people tested and quarantined, then at that point, I think it'll end up like the tidal wave will end up subsiding. And then that'll come out maybe just in time for Black Widow in May or just in time for the Eternals later on this year. So those are the two films that I think, or Bond even, which has a strong possibility to cross $1 billion. I think if things stay the same, there's no effing way any film is going to cross $1 billion.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And if this thing gets worse internationally, there's certainly no way any film is going to cross $1 billion. But if they end up getting on top of it and solving it and moving it into a good position, then I think at that point, then you'll see films start to come back, because audiences will come back in mass. As soon as they give them the green light, go ahead, people will come back in mass and see these movies and enjoy the movies. The thing that may happen, though, as a indirect result, is that people will start to be like, oh, I actually can watch movies here at the house. I actually can chill out here with my family and watch movies and go on Amazon Prime or Netflix or Hulu or any of the streaming service, Disney Plus, any of those, and actually not have to deal with the parking, deal with the traffic, deal with the expensive refreshments or what have you, and just kind of hang out with my family. So in some fucked up way, the coronavirus could actually get people to reconnect with their families because they have to stay around them in the house. So that could be an indirect result of that. And that could affect the box office as well, because, you know, it's funny, whatever something is removed from you initially, you're like, no. And then within a few days, you just acclimate to it because you're a human being and you can figure it out. And that could happen with movies as well.
Well, I mean, the James Holmes situation in 2012 with the whole, Colorado movie theater incident, two things I told myself were going to happen by the end of the decade, the 2010s. There was going to be more streaming services so people wouldn't have to be afraid or at least deal with that potential nightmarish situation at a movie theater. And two, there was going to be a company that was going to kind of revolutionize streaming. Netflix is one of them. The Irishman, you had Marriage Story. They all were getting nominated for Oscars last year into this year's Oscars. I know they didn't clean up, but I think by the middle of this decade, you're going to see like Paramount Pictures like biting their teeth, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do if a movie flops? Because Netflix, I mean, they've got this, and this, and they're all critically acclaimed. And The Irishman set a streaming record at one time, even though it's like 3 hours long. It's longer than some baseball games.
Yeah, I know. I've tried to convince my girlfriend to watch it. She won't. She was like, she watched a minute of the trailer and she was like, yeah, no, I don't need to see 3.5 hours of that. So yeah, that's certainly something. Do you find that weird nowadays? Let me ask you a question. Do you find it strange that so many of these films are starting to come out with these long run times, right? There's rumors that Bond is 3 hours. It's
going to be 3 hours.
Yeah, this recent Star Wars film is the longest run time for any Star Wars film ever. Like, this is starting to slowly happen again, like we had in the 60s and the 70s a little bit, these 3-hour epic films or 3-hour films that people are somehow now finding their way in the theater. And I wonder about this because people are like, it's the height of ADD nowadays. How in the hell are people doing 3.5 hour films or 3-hour films and people are coming to see? What was it just recently crossed $1 billion that was over 3 hours as well? Like, it's kind of shocking overall.
Most of the Marvel movies, like, they hover near 3 hours and they're making bank left and right. But the thing is, Rocha, is that I wanted to see No Time to Die, and I will. I will see No Time to Die. But I was so excited because here I am going to WrestleMania if it happens. As I'm staying in Tampa at my best friend's house through Tuesday. I'm going to sign up my vacation for him at work and then do that and then come back and then get ready for Bond on that Friday. Now that's not going to happen. I don't want to see any other movie this year. That includes Ghostbusters Afterlife or anything like that. I do want to see No Time to Die because there's never been a James Bond movie to come into the next decade. There's never been so I mean, that's huge for me. And this is it for Daniel Craig. And you've alluded to this, and I think you're right. The odds evens for Daniel Craig seem to be the ones that are the hits are the odd ones, and the even ones are rather the even ones, the odd ones not so much.
Yeah.
So No Time to Die, when it comes out, I've already got Thanksgiving planned out. I'm going to go to a restaurant Thanksgiving with my family, eat early, like middle or noon or so.
Right.
Take a little bit of a rest, in terms of going home, take a nap, then get up at like 7 or 8 at night, go to the last showing at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. It's going to be near 3 hours. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And then there's a 24/7 diner that's right near the movie theater. Right when after I'm done with that, I'll eat even more food and be all ready, all set, ready to go for the Black Friday weekend. I got it mapped out.
Man. It's all mapped out. It's all mapped out. God love you for still having the energy to do that shit, because I'm sitting at home ordering shit from Black Friday online. I don't go to the stores anymore. It's too much madness. It's too much.
I got
madness.
a tree where there's a tree lighting I have to do that Friday for my my company, my radio station. So we do it every year because I live in downtown Concord, New Hampshire.
Right.
So it's not a hassle. I don't drive either. I'm 37 come Friday. I don't drive. It's just I'm against the oil standard. I mean it. I'm serious.
Oh, wow.
If we could all drive electric powered vehicles, we'd be better off.
Okay. All right.
That's all.
I don't disagree with you. But the problem I might find when I look at these electric vehicles, how much they charge you to charge them up is outrageous here in Los Angeles. It's outrageous how much they charge you.
We have charging stations in New Hampshire, and it's starting to get not quite California prices because we're kind of a low taxation state because we don't have a sales or income tax.
Right. Right.
But I think because it's new. Like anything, like cell phones, when cell phones came out, they were thousands of dollars. Now anyone who's anyone, it's a cell phone. So at some point it'll become affordable. Before I let you go though,
okay.
My 2011 high school reunion with my 10-year from Concord High School. Okay. I dressed up like Roger Moore's James Bond in Octopussy in the Get Backgammon Club, the white tuxedo.
Oh yeah, I know.
And I got rave reviews for it. They thought it was like my idea. I'm like, no, I kind of got it from the movie the year we were all born in, 1983, Octopussy. So
smart.
Yeah, I'll show you guys pictures at some point. I have them somewhere locked up in a not in a vault, but like I have some previous pictures at my mom's house. So I'll say, hey mom, can I see this picture of when I was in my late 20s instead of late 30s? Sure, why not? Yeah, show it to all your friends. I don't care. What do I need it for? You're only my firstborn out of 3.
That's perfect. All right. Well, thanks for calling in, J-Dog. I appreciate it, man. And good talk with you, dude.
All right. Thanks. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Well, I'll send a StreamLab or a super chat on tomorrow. And then on Friday on my birthday, I'll be definitely doing that as well. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that madly, dude. Thanks so much. To have a good rest of your night.
Horseman.
Always. All right. Well, there you go. That was the last person in line here on the Outlaw Nation show. I appreciate everyone who's been watching and listening along, and the chat's been pretty vibrant and people going back and forth. So I appreciate that very much. All you all in here. It's been a lot of fun talking about everything. Let's see here. A lot of people talk about the runtime for Bond. I don't know if let me check in on John and see if we have any more people waiting to talk here. If not, I might just start wrapping this thing up a little bit and seeing where we're at. Let me check with John and see where we're at. Anybody left? Is anybody left here? John, are you there? Hello? Are you muted? Are you muted? Let's see. Oh, wow. There's a lot of people in here. All right, cool. Let's see if anyone has left. Let's see what we got. Jake, absent, good. Mariano's in there. All right, we'll send them through when you can, man. I'm gonna wrap this thing up here in just a little bit. If no one's coming back on, I'll just kind of shut it down. But the one thing I did want to talk about it was something that let me see. Schwarzenegger tweeted something that was really cool. It was let's see here. Schwarzenegger. Yo, can you hear me, John? Are you in there? John, are you there? All right. Well, Schwarzenegger retweeted something I thought was really cool. This person, Clayton Rains, said, I am incredibly unforgiving to myself. He is, let me see, he's a play-by-play shoutcaster for the LCS with Riot Games. Player game, follow your heart. That's what he says on his Twitter feed. That's his bio. and he said to Schwarzenegger, he was retweeting something that Schwarzenegger had said. So he said, I'm incredibly unforgiving to myself. Reading something like this means a lot coming from someone I've looked up to my entire life. Thanks for writing these words, Governor Schwarzenegger. You're a man among men. And Schwarzenegger said, I'm not going to be that hard on you. Please don't be that hard on yourself. We all go through challenges. We all go through failures. Sometimes life is a workout, but the key thing is you get up. Just move a little, roll out of bed and do some push-ups or go for a walk. Just do something, one step at a time. I hope you feel better and get back to the gym, but don't beat yourself up because that's just useless talk. It doesn't get you closer to the gym, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Good luck. Such fantastic words. And then he retweeted Clayton's retweet of him and said, always remember that beating yourself up takes energy you could be using on actions to build yourself up and make you feel better instead of using that energy to tear yourself down. And I think that was just great words, because we waste so much time. We waste so much time pushing forward and beating ourselves up and doing those things that we do to kind of like feel terrible about ourselves and go into those patterns that repeat over and over and over again. And the truth is, because we see other people, look, I'm experiencing this. I see other people with their YouTube channels and they're way more successful than I am. And I get like, oh, I got to be at that level. And you're like, wait, I just started this 2 months ago. My girlfriend's really good at kind of like bring me back to reality, bring me back to kind of perspective, having a bit of perspective. And that is, you can't compare yourself to everybody else. If you compare yourself to everybody else or compare yourself to those kind of things, then you're going to fall apart. And the things you have to remember is it's always a marathon. It's not a sprint. And this idea of just taking one step forward, one step closer, one step rolling out of bed, doing a few push-ups, taking a walk, just anything that's going to get you closer to what you want to get to, that's important. It takes just as much energy to build yourself up as it is to put yourself down. And I don't mean being arrogant. I don't mean being cocky. I mean, you can tell yourself, look, I'll figure it out. Look, I'll get it together. Look, I'll make it work. Those are the things that matter. Those are the things that are important. And when you spend more time saying like, oh, I'm never going to do it, or I'm never going to succeed at it, or I'm going to suck, or people are going to hate me, that is what separates you from success. That idea that you are stopping yourself from taking a chance. Because you know what? Everyone who's judging you has fucked up. Everyone who's judging you has failed. Everyone who's judging you has tried to do something and not done it well. Everyone who's judging you has fallen on their face trying to do something, but they get back up and keep going. And that's going to be the difference. Can you get back up and keep going and keep trying? And that's the thing that I'm struggling with too. My reviews that I'm really hard on myself on, I don't think that they're at the level that I had them at Collider, because I'm not used to doing reviews by myself. So I liked having someone to bounce off of. It made me, think on my feet and be creative within recording of the video. So reviews. So now I have to learn to do these movie reviews for 10 to 11 minutes, 15 minutes by myself. What does that entail? And I've got to let go of being hard on myself about it and focus on putting all this content up and seeing the end result. I may not see my viewer subscription like jump up to 20,000 or 30,000 or 40,000 overnight, but it's because I'm not doing, I need to do consistent videos. It isn't just live stream stuff like I do here, which I love doing. It's got to be more than just that. So those are the things that I have to struggle with. So I even had somebody reach out to me as a publicist, and she was like, I only see two or three movie reviews on your channel. Why would I get you into this if you're not going to, can you promise me you're going to review it? And that kind of was the kick in the ass that I needed, because to see that other people are actually watching my stuff to see if I'm reviewing movies, that could be the difference between me getting into a pretty important screening or getting a guest to be on my show on the Deep Cut, all that jazz. That could be the difference, them seeing how active I am. Live streams are great, but they got to see content that relates to movies. And those are the things that I need to work on. And so, but beating myself up solves nothing. Me getting out of bed going, gonna tackle it, gonna record it, gonna put it up, see what happens. People can make fun of it or not watch it, whatever. I'm gonna get better on the next one. That's what matters. So whatever field you're in, it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. All right, what do we got? We got Absent Good rolling in here. What's up, dude? How you doing? Go Rams.
Hey, what's up, man? Glad to see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, totally.
All right, I met you in Atlanta. You probably forgot about me. It's okay.
What are you doing with the Rams hat? What are you doing in Atlanta with the Rams?
Well, I'm not from Atlanta. I drove down there to Atlanta to go see the match.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
Born in New Jersey. I moved down to Virginia. So
sweet.
So Virginia, but I became an LA Rams fan when I first started watching football for the very first time, I was watching the Rams for all those seasons. I just stuck with them since '98. I've been a fan all then, and I'll be in LA in June for vacation with the family. So I'm gonna go and try to look at the new stadium because I know you went to see it. I was super jealous, but but it looks amazing.
If they finish it in time, bro, like they said they were 85% done. I was like, bullshit, you're 85% done. This thing looks like it's 55, 60% done. There's so much they still need to do with that place, but the plans for it are insane. That Oculus VR shit, like I got to create some kind of relationship with those people there because I want to be able to go to those games and cover those games or see those games in that format because that's just next level stuff. And we'll see how the Rams play this year. We'll see if Goff is for real or not for real. This is a make or break year for Goff, in my opinion, and for McVay as well. Don't you think?
Look, McVay, my opinion, I'll probably give him at least another year or 2 years. See how this year goes with this. I wouldn't boot him all the way. I can't remember how long his contract is, but what he done for the first year and the second, and still trying to do fill him out on this year. I would give me another year or 2 years, see how it is. I'm a dire Rams fan, but I'm the same with Jared Goff. He can be up and down, and especially to see how he really does without having his running back and see what he does. And it kind of showed a little bit, especially with some of our injuries and everybody coming back. So I think hopefully he'll bring some new ideas and push it through. But I'm still feeling Jared Goff because he's shown he's done good, but also he's shown he doesn't have that backup to flow off with that. So see what happens.
I just don't feel mentally he's got that strength to take it to the next level. He's got to show us, like, this is the season to show us. Can you step up? You know, somebody used that for Kansas City when I did my Patrick Mahomes preview on the Chiefs earlier this year, or last year rather, when I was doing the season. I said, this is a make or break year for Patrick Mahomes. Like, it was great that he got that close against the Patriots. They couldn't get the job done. So what do? Do you fall backwards down to earth, or do you go, we're going to push past that step into the next level? And this is where Jared Goff's going to show you, I think, whether he's got the mental fortitude to continue as a quarterback or he's going to fade like Jake Delhomme. He's going to become one of those quarterbacks, which will be a shame.
It's really going to test John McVay. It's going to test him and his skills. And he being how young he is, show what's he going to do the second time again. And I have two questions, but I don't want to keep you too long because I know it is late. I didn't get a chance to see your Onward. I don't know if you did a review on that or not.
Not yet. No, I'm writing it right now. I'm recording it tomorrow, and I've got the Geek Buddies coming over to join me tomorrow as well.
Awesome.
So we may do an Onward review because the other Geek Buddies saw it. So the three of us may do an Onward review together about the film.
And I took my daughter to see it, and I did a review myself, and I dropped a quick one. I think it's a good movie, but I think it's not one of the best Pixar movies. I think they fell short on this movie a little bit, especially I understand the point with the father and seeing him and everything, but I thought a lot of the jokes and the how did you be funny was.
Don't spoil anything.
Oh, no, I won't spoil it. I just felt like it was not elevated as you see a Toy Story or anything like that. I felt like it fell short a little bit. It was a good movie, but I think I gave it 3.5 out of 5 because I felt like it was just missing something from other Pixar movies. But I'll look up for your video. But before I let you go, I'm wondering, what are you more anticipated for? Are you anticipated for Black Widow or Eternals? Because I know the YouTube channel was watching. I said I'm really looking forward in Eternals because something new is something fresh. Even though we had Black Widow for so many years, we know what she can do, and I can't wait for the movie. But I'm looking for more for Eternals because it's something new and different. I gave the example with Guardians of the Galaxy because that was something we didn't know nothing about, unless you was a sweaty fan like Johnson would say. So we didn't know, and it done so well. Not the second one, but when it first came out, it did gangbusters. And I feel like the Eternals can do that same thing, bring that in, because not a lot of people don't know what the Eternals, but I feel like dropping that in, I think it's going to be something like, oh, let's see what this is. Let's check this out. I feel like, my opinion, it would do more money than Black Widow because it's something like nobody know what it is. Let's jump right in. You have a cast of characters. It's so mixed with different people, and I love that. So I just want to get your thoughts on it.
Well, first of all, I think Black Widow, after that last trailer that dropped a couple days ago, which I recorded a reaction for, and that'll be up tomorrow as well. But that trailer single-handedly will lead to more money for that movie because people were kind of on that fence with the previous two trailers and weren't sure. This last trailer was badass with the score and everything that happened. So that's going to make more money than people thought. And it raised my anticipation level for sure. I think for a lot of people, man, it's going to be that first trailer for Eternals that's going to let people know one way or the other, and let you know if we're dealing with a film that could make $1 billion. That could be the next Marvel film. I don't think Black Widow is going to cross the $1 billion, but I think Eternals certainly has a very good shot because of that cast, because people don't know the characters that well, so they can fill in stuff in their own minds when they're watching it. And the trailer itself has got to come out like gangbusters. The director's a great choice. Angelina Jolie, Kamal Nanjiani. You see, people have been working on this for quite some time. If they get this right, because the Eternals are badass. It's a badass crew. I have it back there in my bookshelf for graphic novels. Like the Eternal stuff, even the graphic novels, like oversized. That's how big that damn thing. That's how big that universe is with the Eternals. Will we see more of that rolling here in the trailer or whatever? That's going to be the difference, I think, in my opinion. So which one am I looking forward to most right now? I have to say Black Widow, because I don't know how Eternals is going to look. If they drop an Eternals trailer around Comic-Con, then I think that'll change my anticipation level, and I'll be able to compare the two quickly. If it looks incredible and game-changing for a Phase 4 film, or Phase 5, is it Phase 5, right? Or
I think it's
Phase
Phase
4?
5, right? I think
Yeah,
it's
Phase 5
for India.
Right, for a Phase 5 film, then I'm 1,000% on board. And I think that's going to be the difference, to be honest with you. Is like, okay, is the trailer kick-ass? Great. Because a lot of people aren't expecting much from this phase of movies that like, oh, we don't know what's coming. Is it going to be teased with Fantastic Four or X-Men? So people are kind of, and we had everything ended the Endgame as like, Homecoming as well. You take a break for a second. Far From Home. You take a break for a second, take a breather, and then you ramp it back up again. So this phase currently that we're in, I think it's going to be the TV shows that really carry things forward, but Eternals could be what announces what's coming in the next phase and kind of introduce characters or villains like Galactus that we might see down the road. So I think that's going to what's going to raise the anticipation level, is if we start to see hints of what they're alluding to in movies coming down the road. That's going to make it a bigger
and I feel like if they can make those characters likable, just like in the Guardians of the Galaxy with Chris Pratt and Dave Bautista, you just you with the personality, you just got into it. And I feel like if the trailer, like you said, is gangbusters like Guardians was, when you seen that first Guardians trailer and that music hits and everything, you're like, what is this? So hopefully they can do that with Eternals trailer, because it comes out with late summer. I can't remember.
Late. No, I think it comes out actually in the fall, if I'm not incorrect. Let me see. I don't have that handy. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I just looked at Eternals.
Yeah, November 6th. Yeah, I thought
it November 6th, 2020.
Yeah. I had a feeling it was in the fall. So so I mean, that's the thing that you got to look at is it gonna, that to me at the end of the day, like that. So we're not going to see much until Comic-Con. I think that's when we'll see the first trailer, because Black Widow's got to go through its cycle. And I think with Comic-Con, whether they cancel or not, we'll see with the coronavirus. But I think we're going to see a trailer or something around that time that's going to whet the appetite for the Eternals, because then it's like, what, 4 or 5 months later is when the film comes out. So that's when Marvel starts ratcheting up.
And with the virus, I do believe, I think it'll calm down a little bit as we go. And I feel like it's researching and studying it, and the news, and I'm just looking at it. I feel like it will calm down. I think we'll get to that point where we can start easing back in, and I think it will do well. Like I said, I'm anticipated, but I agree with you as well. You don't see nothing as of yet. You really pulling off from that Black Widow what we remember, what we've seen of her, and we know she's a badass. So I mean, that trailer, I agree. That trailer I was like, okay, all right. And but when I look forward to something fresh, and because I already know Black Widow's a badass. I know she's gonna be badass, but I'm really anticipating into the movie Eternal. Like, what's this going to be, and how is it going to hit? This is going to be a good mark of them, what they can show us for brand new characters. So, but I truly agree, saying. But thank you for taking your time. I know it's late. I appreciate it.
No, my respect, dude. I'm doing the show every week. This is the show now on Tuesday nights. I want people to call in, and so I'm very happy. So many of you have called in already for this show. We're almost done with the show, so it's pretty incredible to have so many of you all calling in. So thank you, dude. Honestly,
and keep pushing, because you're going to be at that level. Like, you're going to be at a level. You had an open, good personality. Like you said, you outspoken. Everybody loves that. You're just honest, and then, like I said, it takes time. But I know you're going to kill it with all your friends and your buddies. Keep pushing. I'll keep contributing as much as I can, but keep doing your thing, John.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Much love to you, Absent Good. Thank you.
Take care.
You too. All right, well, there you go. That was some really nice words from Absent Good. Yeah, I am trying, trying to build this thing step by step, and you all have been so kind to go along the way. Oh, Robert Parker, are you in here, Robert Parker? What, you can't call me on Discord, Robert? Have a little question, a little back and forth. Come on. Are you afraid, like your friend Kevin Smets, who couldn't call in either? Let's see. Robert says Disney Plus shows are going to be interesting coming up in the MCU. I think that's where a lot of MCU fans are putting their hype for the time being. Obviously, some big movies too, but still, yeah, that's where I fear. That's what I feel like. It's where. Wasn't a fan at all. What do you think? Oh, Just Your Average Joe did not like Uncut Gems. Well, my girlfriend didn't like it either. So I get it. I get it. Trust me on that. Yeah. Thanks, Jake. You're saying, oh yeah, let me bring these up. All right, I can do these right now. Listen, give a shout out to El Salvador. You're the best. All right, El Salvador. Vamos. That's what I'll tell you. El Salvador. Vamos, vamos. All right, there. That's cool. I forgot that I could do this thing. So let me bring Robert up. Where's Robert? There he is. Robert Parker. There he is. Disney Plus shows are going to be interesting coming up in the MCU. I think that's where a lot of the MCU fans are putting their hype for the time being. Obviously, some big movies too, but still, yeah, I agree. That's where we're going to see a lot of stuff coming down the pike. And if it's going to show, if it's going to show up in Phase 5 and lay the groundwork for stuff like that. So that's where we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Colin Martinez, how about a shout out for Honduras? All right, Honduras, yeah. Vamos, Honduras. Levántase, levántase. So there you go. Shout out to, maybe I should do a stream all in Spanish. Although my Spanish, look, my Spanish was great once upon a time, but my Spanish is not great as well as, because my mom is the only person I talk to in Spanish, and we only talk like once a week. So I don't have a lot of people. I don't speak Spanish with a lot of people here, ironically, in Los Angeles, because there's not a lot of Spanish people in the sphere that I work in. I mean, Danny Fernandez is of course, Sabrina is coming on. I've been seeing her more lately. Hector Navarro, Ben is half Mexican, but doesn't speak any Spanish at all. So I don't get to work out my Spanish as much as I would like. So just practice, Rocha. Vamos a ver. Oh, Andrew Hale says, don't worry, Rocha. We'll get Saul and Bibiani into the show soon. Oh, man, if you can get Saul onto the show, that would be fun. And Bibiani said he's busy tonight. I saw he's busy tonight. Sure you are, Bibs. Sure you are. He just didn't want to call in. I respect it. You don't want to give me some love. I get it. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, Paul Denuzzo sent me a message. Yeah, I think I figured it out, Paul. So if you're watching this on the repeat, thank you so much. Mariano says we're rocking and rolling. How are you doing with it? I had to mute the show so I could screen. Yeah, no problem. And I'm on the Discord here. All right, anybody else waiting to come on? If nobody else is waiting to come on, maybe we'll start the wrapping up of the show here just a little bit early. Andrew Hale also telling Bibiani on Twitter that he should call in. That's so funny. So yeah, this is going to be the show going forward. Just letting you all know. Absolutely, the show will be going every Tuesday night. I'm planning to go from 5 to 7. Tonight was a little bit slow because I wanted to figure out how do we do the StreamLabs thing and have people call in, have people be in a part. So if you saw this tonight, you weren't sure if you should call in, you weren't sure how to work the Discord, all that, figure it out by the time we jump in next week, because I definitely want to have people call in and have a back and forth and have an interaction with people. And even if you're just a fan of the show, or if you want to bust my balls about the Schmoedown, or any of the Schmoedown competitors want to call in, that would be a lot of fun as well. Because it's good to have a little back and forth for the fans. And I'm just in love with the StreamYard situation now, because I was wondering how Riley was able to do all the stuff that he was doing on his stream. Now I can see, and of course also with the call to action people, how they're able to bring people's shots, like here, like Robert Parker saying shots fired at Bibbs. Yeah, just little playful, friendly fire. Let's see, what does this guy say? Let me see, who's this? Dan Layson says, no, Rocha says not many he speaks Espanol to in that part of LA. That's more Hollywood part. The valley, right? Exactly. That's true. Mira, yo puedo hablar español. El problema es que no tengo con quién hablar. So, el problema es que no lo practico. So, no lo practico, vas a escuchar el acento. Eso me frustra, ¿no? Me frustra mucho. Pero con mi mamá yo hablo, no hay problema, porque mi mamá y yo tenemos comunicaciones, so podemos hablar con cosas así, eso no es un problema. Pero para mí, yo quiero hablar mejor, yo quiero hablar sin acento, que siempre cuando yo iba a audiciones en los años pasados, por cosas de español, siempre me decían, los mexicanos, los que estaban haciendo el casting, me decían constantemente, puedo escuchar tu acento gringo, y eso me insultaba, porque yo Yo siempre pensó que nunca he tenido un acento de gringo, pero posiblemente tengo. So, eso me molesta. Justin Hamilton's in here. Oh, I thought you'd be trolling me on the Facebook group, you jerk. All right. Thank you for joining me, Justin. Absolutely good. Sent in a StreamLabs series or Super Chat said, thanks for taking the time out to talk, man. It was awesome. Keep grinding. I love it when you're on SCN. Taking time to talk with fans will grow your channel. Yeah, that's I figured like that's the thing that I wanted to get to is being able to talk to the fans, communicate with the fans. I have kind of not been as strong on the Patreon stuff. So this is my way of kind of doing that. I'm going to have Patreon only chats as well or live streams with them. So those are things that I'm going to be working on going forward. And tomorrow, speaking of which, tomorrow I will be hosting SCN Live. Tomorrow, Christian's asked me to step in, so it's going to be a lot of fun. First time I'll be with Bonnie Somerville. I think she's on the show tomorrow. So I have never worked with Bonnie before in any shape, form, or capacity. So I don't know what to expect. I just know it's going to be a lot of fun. So it'll be a blast. Sean Monk says, I love you, Rocha. Hopefully going to call in next week. I wasn't prepared. I'm still working on my spoonsmanship. You bastard. That's a good one. I like that. I respect it, Sean. Jeremy Miller says, I feel like I'm watching a Bollywood. Why am I a jerk? Oh, go back and look at your comments, Justin Hamilton wants to know why he's a jerk. Go back and look at your comments, Justin Hamilton, on in the Facebook group, making fun of my Star Wars abilities, making fun of just going all about Smets. Like I've never seen someone hold on to a Bespin for 4 years like Justin Hamilton is, thinking that I don't know anything about Star Wars. John, did you call your mom back after she called you yesterday? No, I did not. She called me tonight too. She's pretty upset, I think, that I haven't called her back. So we will see. Dan Layson says, I also really like when Rocha hosts SEN. Different vibe than Christian's. Oh, totally. Different, but not better, right? I make that clear. Christian and I are just two different styles. That's all. Because I used to host another show where the person was upset that I compared our styles and, that it was different styles and was upset that I mentioned it during the show, how that person had a certain style and I had a different style. And that person felt that I was creating competition between, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just stating the truth. The obvious truth that I have a different style than other people. Let's see. Wrap it up here. I should probably wrap up here. I got about 4 minutes and I don't see anybody else in the Discord waiting to jump in. So I think I'm going to start wrapping it up and shutting it down and spend some time with my lady here. Let me see. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining me here for the first episode of the Outlaw Nation back on the show. This is the show now. This is going to be my show that I do every Tuesday from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. It will be the show for you. I want fans to call in, fans to ask me questions on the StreamLabs, on the Super Chat, coming in here. And I'm going to start, I think eventually we'll start like limiting it to the people who are patrons or whatever, or for my Patreon, things that they will get first dibs on asking questions in the waiting room, and then we'll move on to other people. So that's another thing about. So if you want to join my Patreon there, www.patreon.com/John Rocha, please feel free to do that. Get me up to about, I'm trying to get to the 2,000, 3,000 mark so I can start renting studios and doing these shows at a studio, kind of put the hammer down on a studio and rent it out month to month so I can do all my content there as professionally as possible. Already got to give shout out to my girlfriend helping me with the lighting. She's got it so correct now, exactly the look I was looking for. She found a way to get it done correctly. So I appreciate that. Belford, thanks, man. Thanks for stopping in just in time to say goodnight. So should I start this one later? Maybe I should start from 7 to 9 p.m. Maybe that's a better start time for most people. I'll probably miss out on the East Coast people, but wouldn't be a bad thing maybe from 7 to 9, give me a little bit of chance for people to kind of come home from the West Coast, relax a little bit, to put up their feet, and then put this on YouTube and sit down with me and talk. So we'll see. That may be a possibility that those are the Tuesday nights from 7 to 9 instead of from 5 to 7. So just look out for that. But it'll be this. It'll be the Discord. It'll be you'll call in, and it'll be StreamLabs and Super Chats of that nature. Chris Miner sending in saying, please bring back Dropping Dimes. Go Spurs, go. That's not my show. That's Matt's show. So I think he's still doing it over at Collider. So Dropping Dimes hasn't gone anywhere from what I know. So it's still going on from what I understand. So go from there. Let me get out of Facebook here real quick. Sorry, y'all. It's making some ding noises in my ear, and I don't appreciate it. All right. And And I think that's everything. All right. Please follow me on at the Rocha Says, or down there. See that? At the Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm trying to get my Twitter up to 35,000, trying to get that Instagram up to 20,000. So please follow me there. And of course, subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that red button, subscribe, and join this Outlaw Nation. I had already had a bunch of people subscribe. Fahar West subscribed while this chat was going on. So the more the merrier here in the Outlaw Nation. I always appreciate you all taking the time to spend some time. And don't forget tomorrow morning, 8:15 a.m., I guess, the pre-show going into the actual show, 8:15 a.m., 4 mornings with the Outlaw. Those are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's how we do that. We'll drop in a new episode of the Geek Buddies tomorrow, I think tomorrow night as well. So a lot of stuff coming down the pike from the Outlaw Nation channel. Can't thank you all enough for being a part of it. And this show is your show. Show is your show. And so for Belford says 7 to 9 hits the East Coast at 9 p.m. Most East Coasters are still awake. Yeah. So maybe it's not a bad idea. Maybe 7 to 9 p.m. is the way to go. Because most people on the East Coast, maybe at 10 o'clock will want to kind of jump on and kind of unwind a little bit. So I want to make this show. Maddie says this unfortunately won't be a regular thing for me, but I've managed to stay awake. Great first show back, John. Thank you, Maddie. Appreciate it. This show is going to be your show, our show. Right? We're going to be talking about everything you want to talk. We want to talk mental health. We want to talk about creative blocks like Raven was talking about. Talk about that. We'll talk about movies. Talk about anything you guys want to talk about. That's what the show is. It's the Outlaw Nation Show. I started that thing as a podcast to talk to you all. This is now the on-camera show, which will be a podcast show as well, as I set up the network there. So all that stuff coming down the pike. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Love all of you. Have a great rest of your evening. And don't forget to join me tomorrow, as I said, for Mornings with the Outlaw at 8:15 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then SCN Live at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning as well. Ferris Methuen. Oh, Ferris Methuen. Did you send one last StreamLab in? Sorry. Let me refresh it real quick. Ferris Methuen. Did you send something in, man? Did I miss you, dude? No, I don't see you, Ferris. Are you sure you sent something in? You said to check the StreamLabs. No, I don't see anything, my man. Are you sure you sent something in? So let's see. Oh yeah, Ferris Methuen says check the StreamLabs. John Haskell says check StreamLabs. I sent one. Let me see, Haskell. I don't see you, brother. I just refreshed it here. Did you send it to John Rocha Says? No, I don't see it. I see your super chats. I don't see your StreamLabs. So maybe something's going on with the StreamLabs. Yeah, I don't see it. Sorry, guys. Well, send me your questions now. What are the questions real quick, and I'll answer them real quick. Oh, wait, John. Others have. How huge is your member? Thanks, Banana Stand. Saul, there is. Rocha has more cameras on him throughout the day than Truman from the Truman Show did. That's right, Saul. It's what success looks like. You should try it sometime. For tighten up your tie, maybe shave that beard down a little bit. Stop looking like a reject from the Game of Thrones wildlings. It might help you out. Yeah, next time call in, Saul. It'd be kind of fun. Our show, he said. Oh, you're gonna regret that, oh, bro. I can handle you like nobody's business, Saul. Please. Is not even a question. Yeah, I did not see any StreamLabs. So Haskell, I'm just gonna shut it down, brother. If you send something through, I will answer it tomorrow on Mornings with the Outlaw. Yeah, I don't see anything, bro. Sorry. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, sorry. Okay, well, let's go ahead and end it there. WTF, he said. Who hold up on the beard? Saw better one sent one in. Yeah, I know he did. Haskell sent it in. I'll check for it tomorrow, man. I'll check for it tomorrow. I got to wrap things. I got to jump on to the next thing. All right, love you. Much love. Talk to you next time on the Outlaw Nation channel. Remember to subscribe. Remember to follow and give and leave comments below as well. Talk to you then. Take care of yourselves. Much love. Always the Outlaw.